Had a bit of a coughing fit just there. Oh, it's still there. It's still there. That joke card's making me laugh. Anyway, good morning. How are you? How are you? It was foggy this morning when I drove in. Is it still foggy now? I hope not. Anyway, enjoy the day with us because we have got a jam-packed show for you today. Coming up today with me, John Scott, is 8 o'clock, brand new magical unicorn quilt with Joe Carter. 9 o'clock, brand new Sashiko made easy with Jenniffer Taylor. We've got brand spanking new templates. Not templates, what's they called? Oh, they're called templates, yeah. But they're different to one templates you've seen before. 10 o'clock, brand new Joe Carter Zebra Softie. See what Paul's done here? 11 o'clock, brand new jacket. Well, it's more of a waistcoat with Jenniffer Taylor. So it's brand spanking new. Now, what I was supposed to do while I was reading that out was get them all in to show you. So at 8 o'clock, we've got this gorgeous quilt that Timothy's going to show you now. This is Friday's quilt. This one's on Friday. This is today's quilt. Isn't that gorgeous? Lisa the unicorn. You saw it all day yesterday, hanging yesterday. It's beautiful. Joe Carter's here to do that. Then we've got an hour of Sashiko with Jenniffer Taylor. God, I look a bit rough today, don't I? Is the lighting different? Thanks, Paul. Paul's saying I didn't want to say. Anyway, here you go. That's better. They're the templates. They're the new templates using. Then we've got the zebra. Look, we can't see it against my shirt, really. It's busy, busy, busy. Oh, isn't he gorgeous? Now, what it is, he's a hack, or, well, we say hack in the fashion industry. What did you say? A revamp? I can't remember. Rework of the unicorn, but I'll tell you more about that during that time. And then in Jennifer's last hour, look at this, boiled wool. It's lovely little, and now the pattern is brand new. You can either make a gilet like this, or you can make a sleeved jacket. Now, the pattern says it's a lined jacket, but look, using the boiled wool, you don't need to line it, do you? And this is little, this is Jennifer's little embellishment corsage going on there. Okay, so now we'd love you to get in touch, and the best way to do that is go to the website, www.sewingquarter.com. There you go, and all you need to do is you just need to press, oh, I'm confused. What do I do? What do we do? Press something. You click on Watch the Show Live. Then you'll go to here. Now, what you need to do is you do need to log in at this point. And then, as you can see there, little Paul is producing today. The messages will go through to him, and he will send them through to the tablet on our desk. Now, we want lots and lots of interaction today. I know it is, oh dear, look, we're getting his life story now. Loving all the projects today. Yes, I am little, and yes, I am Paul. Yes, and yes, I am grumpy, it should say next, shouldn't it, really? Now, if you scroll down the page, you'll see products from today's show. In a minute, they're all yesterday's products. They will all disappear. And everything from today's show will appear, whether it be fabric or machines or kits or bundles or tools or anything like that. So if you are watching the repeat, like, oh, they're disappearing, look, they're going already. If you are, oh, they're from the day before. We didn't have a bar shallows today. Anyway, it doesn't matter, because they'll all disappear in a little while, and all of today's things will arrive. If you go to the top of the page, where it says add to basket, you see out for the day Ochre Hound bundle there. Click on add to your basket. It will go into your basket, but you do need to check out to make sure it's yours. But you can check out as many times as you like during the day. Only one P&P of £2.95, 4 to 6 working days. But please, please, please make sure you check out. You can also send us an email with all your pictures or longer messages, and that is studio@sewingquarter.com. Studio@sewingquarter.com. Right, let's have a look at that lovely quilt that Joe's made. Now, it's not an afternoon's project. There's lots to it, but it's gorgeous, isn't it? Let's have a look at it. There you go. So that is the one that. Now, was there not a picture of the whole thing? Oh, honestly. Anyway, it's got 4 blocks. Now, I'll show you the pattern in a second. Now, little Paul wants to do this one first, which is called Aqua. So it's the one that's not been made out of, and it's not one we're not demonstrating. It's the other one. What you get in the bundle is you get 8.5 meters of fabric. You get the pattern, and you get the thread. Okay, let's just go through the fabric, because you get 0.5 meter of everything. No. You get 1 meter of everything, and 1.5 meters of azure, making the 8, I'm gonna sneeze. No, I'm not. Oh, it disappeared. Anyway, 8.5 meters of fabric, plus your pattern, plus your thread. I'll do the pattern. I'll do the bundles, and I'll go through the pattern with you in a sec, because there's lots to tell you about the pattern. £69.99, 8.5 meters of fabric, metre of each, and then 1.5 meters of the azure in that one. I am sure. Oh, that's what you were going on about. You kept saying, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" Yes, I'm going to sneeze. Yes, I'm going to sneeze. You kept saying, "Are you sure?" Couldn't figure it out. This one next. This is lovely. Look at the pinks and purples in here. Now again, 8.5 meters of fabric. Now you get 1 metre of each of them, but you get 1.5 meters of the Vienna orange at the bottom there. This is the one that Joe is going to demonstrate. This is the one that Joe's going to demonstrate. Again, you get the thread and you get the pattern. £69.95. Now, it's Elizabeth Hartman pattern. If you want to go and look at her design, go to her website. She's got fantastic, fantastic designs. And then this is the one that Joe's already made, this one here. This is the one that's on the wall. Now, this one, you get 1 meter of all the fabrics, but you get 1.5 meters of flamingo. It is flamingo, is it? 1.5 meters of flamingo. Thread and pattern. Right, I'm going to open the pattern so you can have a look at this good and proper. Oh, yes, okay, then, right. Have a look. Well, just do the pattern first, then I'll show you what Joe's put on the backing of it. Okay, I'll just go to the middle here. Right, okay. So there's the Lisa the Unicorn. It's a fantastic pattern. Look, it's got all the details you need, all your cutting details. Look, 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 look. It's very, very intricate. Oh. There's Lisa the Unicorn's horn. Now, it's very funny. Somebody took a picture yesterday, a screenshot of a screen grab of their telly, and I'm standing sideways, and the horn's coming out the top of my head. Anyway, nobody laughed. But look, 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 look. Now, you can make 3 things in here. You can make a floor cushion, which is 1 block. You see, it's called a pillow cover, which is 26 inches square. You can make the small quilt, which is the one that Joe's made, and that's the one that you've got enough fabric to make in this bundle. Or you can make the large quilt, which is 90 by 90. Imagine how huge that's going to be, which is 9 different blocks. But obviously, I don't think there's enough fabric in your bundle to make that one. £6.99. Talking of fabrics, I was going to tell you about the rest, but don't worry. Backing fabric here. You need to buy 8 units of this, 4 meters. This is, now remember it's really funny, we had one like this last week, which was waves. This one's clouds, look. I mean, you might not want to do it with you might not want to put the backing on this, you might want it in something else, 45 inches wide. So you'd have to obviously seam it. You are going to have to seam it and patch it, because obviously the finished quilt was what? How many inches wide was it? Sorry. 62, so you are going to have to patch the back. Oh, isn't it lovely? Do you know what I think? What's the name of that lady? I think she's called Karen, and she makes all those gorgeous frocks out of all the different fabrics, like the Tula fabric and everything. That'd be lovely in a summer frock, wouldn't it? £5.99 for 0.5 meter. Look, okay. Now, there's 2 other unicorn fabrics. Nothing to do. You can't use them on the quilt on this, but Paul chose these because they're gorgeous unicorn fabrics. I'll just show you them very quickly. Look at this. Now, this is a canvas. Paul will tell me what it's made of now. 80% cotton, 20% polyester, 140 centimetres wide. I've never seen this one before. Isn't it cute? It's called Duck Egg Pop Art Unicorn. £4.99. It has been on air once. Well, it wasn't with me, and it wasn't with little Paul. So it must have been Natasha and either Hannah or Wayne, mustn't it? Or Vic's. It's £4.99 for 0.5 meter. It's cute, isn't it? Did they make something out of it, Timothy? Isn't that lovely? Now, it is like your canvas. It is like a canvas. So good for bags, good for bean bags, good for garden, tents, little tents and things like that. Okay, and then the other unicorn fabric I've got, that hairbrush is still here, by the way. This one. Again, 8% cotton, 20% polyester. This is pink unicorns. Yep, there you go. There you go. Now, it's not the heavyweight. It's not a heavyweight, but it is like that kind of, well, it's poly cotton mix, cotton poly mix. It's like a lot of the ones we've had, isn't it? A lot of the linen look ones we've had. There's no linen in it at all. Isn't it gorgeous? Look. Now, they're very pink and they're very frivolous. And they're very gorgeous. $4.99. Wouldn't that be lovely for like a cushion for well, I'm not going to say little girl's room because I'm doing stereotypical what's it, and I shouldn't do that. Right, okay, let's go over to Joe. Yep, come on, let's go. Morning.
Morning.
Now, are we going to get a decent show out of you today?
Well, I make no promises.
Right. And now...
You do that.
No. We practiced this because the back of Joe's hair is right. So Joe's going to show us the quilt, how lovely the quilt is, aren't you, Joe? There you go. Don't turn around. Right. There you go. It looks complicated.
It's not complicated, but there's a lot of work involved in it.
Because these are all... It's not foundation paper piecing, is it? It's a proper block.
Yes.
But then you've got all sorts of angles going on here. So... Is there a block? There's not a block. This is...
The whole thing
is a block. It's not made up of blocks, is it?
And you cut all the pieces out, and they're all laid out in the instructions really clearly, so you know what size to cut everything to. But these angles, everything's cut out as squares or rectangles, but then we achieve these
other angles
by the technique where we draw across the diagonal with a pen and sew along that.
Started off as just strips and then creating these by stitching other things across.
Yes, across at an angle.
OK, let's get on. Let's do. If you've got any questions, don't forget, just ask Joe. I'll just turn this on. Right, where do we start then?
Right, the first place to start, I'll get the fabric out.
So you've used the, what do we call this one? The berry, was it berry or pinks? Oh, bright it was called. So
I started off, I had the fabric selection and chose which one I would use for the unicorn.
OK, first of all, there's one fabric, this...
With this one, it's this one.
This one, the orange. Is that, what's that for then, the frame?
Yes, these bits.
Yes.
The sashing around there.
So you have to use...
You have to use the one that's...
The one in your kit that's got the 1.5 metres, that's what that... So in this one, it's the Vienna orange, it's either the azure or the... flamingo in that one. You have to use that one, unless you've got a stash of your own, but you have to use that one in the bundle to do the back, the frame.
And I also use this one.
Oh, yes.
It only features as a main strip in the block, so I've only used a little bit there, but if you want to tie in the sashing...
Oh, I think you want to, don't you?
Blend it in.
Yeah.
So begin by looking at the fabric, choosing the one you want for the unicorn. So for this
for the face,
demo,
for the face, yeah.
I've chosen that one.
OK.
And then select 6 fabrics for the main.
And for, well, OK.
So I'm sure I chose 6. I've written it in my notes.
Oh, OK then. But the colours that are in the backgrounds do appear in the other mains. So that one over there, you've got the blue background. That blue doesn't appear in that unicorn anywhere.
No.
But it does appear in this unicorn, and that unicorn.
Yes. To make the block, you need 5 fabrics for the main. So I've chosen 6 and then swapped the one out if it matches the fabric I've chosen for the background.
The background. OK, perfect.
So select 4 fabrics for the background as well. I chose the darker ones only because I think the unicorn stands out more against it, but you could choose a paler one.
Yes.
For this one, I've chosen... Oh, it does. Well, I'm only making 1 block.
Yes.
But I think I went for...
Oh, are you?
I can't do 4 in the hour.
Well, I was hoping we were going to do the big one with 9 blocks in it, personally. So if you look at this one here, the designer here has chosen the 3 blues and the grey as the background, but then they've done each unicorn. You can do it as and how you wish. Do you know what I mean? They've done all the blues there, all the greens there, but we've done a mixture of all the colours in all of them, haven't we?
Yes.
OK. Right.
So select the 4 you want for the background fabrics, and then if they're going to be used as a main strip as well, cut out. I think it's 1 3/4 inches by the width of fabric. I can check, can't I? I'm just looking at one of these. Yes, it's 1 3/4 inches by width of fabric, and then subcut them up. Later on, it gives you all the measurements.
So you're cutting those up for one of the main, not as in the main. We need to think of another word rather than main, but this.
Yes, the unicorn hair.
Yes. Yeah.
So you have main fabric 1, fabric 2, fabric 3, fabric 4, and you've cut them out. As long as you've cut the width of fabric strips out, so you have them later on.
Yes.
To subcut
So
the
if you
actual
see
pieces.
here, every single bit of the block has got a letter, and then every single letter has got your sizes of what it's supposed to be and everything like that. Okay, right. So you've already done that, have you?
Yes. So I chose my 6 fabrics for the mains. I cut. You need 1 width of fabric strip per block. So I've only cut 1 out because I'm only making 1 block now.
Yes.
And then the 4 fabrics for the backgrounds. And when you cut the background pieces out, start with the large sections first, just to make sure, because there's definitely enough fabric. But
Yes.
if you cut it out certain ways, you'll end up with not
a
large
big enough
piece
for that. Yes.
Right. So there.
And how do you know which is which piece?
And then it's keeping track of them all because there are a lot. So I used the water erasable pen and I wrote. It won't show up as well, I don't think, on camera.
I can just see it on there, but on that one you can see it much better.
On these ones, I wrote the corresponding letter on each of the fabric pieces.
Okay, we're just coming in on that. Oh, you have to, because if you look at all those pieces, how on earth are you going to remember which is which? Because some are very similar, aren't they?
They are.
And some I see that you've got 1 of, and some there are 4 or 5 of. So there's, you know what I mean? As in, you've only got 1 that big, 2 that big, but you've got about 4 or 5 of that size in there. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, some of them you do need a few more.
Okay. Has Shimori Mary come in yet? I'm sure Shimori Mary will be in for this one. Right, so where do we start?
Okay, so the piecing is really straightforward, but it is there are lots of pieces and it's keeping track of them by labelling them.
Yes.
That's my top tip. And when I was making this one, I cut all the pieces out for all 4 in one go, and I would have them stacked up. I had them on a tray, actually, with the top one labelled, so I'd take the one from behind.
Oh, okay, so you didn't have to label
all of
every single piece. So when you cut out, is that H, or there's anyone there? When you cut out that B, you had B for all 4 blocks, all sitting like that, but only the top one had B written on it.
Yes, and I just take from underneath,
Yes,
so I kept track of them.
So when you come to the last one's got all the lettered ones in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be awful, wouldn't it, if you got to the last one? You were like, oh, where's A? I haven't got any A's now.
I did that a few times.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure there should be more in this pile, and they just slid down the back of the desk.
Down the back of the sofa?
Desk.
Oh, desk. They said sofa. Because what are you doing on the sofa? Right.
Okay, I'll start with piecing the main.
Does it tell you which order to make it in, or can you just choose which order you make it in?
I laid my strips out and decided which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
But does it tell you to do the main first? It doesn't tell you to start with the face or anything like that. You can start with that whichever bit you want to first, can you?
Should I check? I can't remember.
That's the small one. That's what we're doing today.
Follow instructions from page 10 and 17. Start with the main.
Okay, perfect.
Make the main unit step 1.
There
we go. We'll go for that. So these are all labelled as well, so I'll just have to find
Okay, half the stock of this one, the bright one, the pink one's gone, which is the one I think that Shimori Mary will have come in for.
Right, I want a piece II.
There it is, 8.5 metres. Right.
So these strips are all cut as... I labelled the other end, didn't I? That's helpful. So this one is kept in its entirety. So select these ones that are labelled here, and they need a piece stitched to the bottom to create the sort of cut edges of the main. Do we need an SS? We do need.
Does it matter? I haven't got my gloves on, they're pointing us at me. Does it matter? Oh, no, because you've already chosen which colours they are. So you've got II, LL, JJ, SS, MM, and PP.
There we go.
So you've got an II.
Try find an II. Don't need an NN, do I?
No, they're too short. You need an II, LL. You've got a JS there. Oh, no, SS.
That's my dodgy
John
handwriting.
Scott, a PP's. Right, let me.
There we go. We need an LL.
There's an SS. There's a PP.
There's an MM.
Which one's that one?
This is why it's so.
Oh, no, that's an LL.
You can have your ruler there. Unfortunately, the pen's the same colour as this.
Oh, no. Well, hang on. We can see.
So
I need an II. I haven't got an II yet.
I can't find this colour must be the II.
Okay, let's put that with the II. So II, LL, there's LL, JJ, no, that's SS.
That's II. Can I do your swap?
That's II. So that's II, that's LL. I haven't got a JJ. That's SS, that's MM, and that's PP. So there's one missing in there.
There's a JJ, I think.
So there you go. You just got to be organised. So there's your main, and they're all the same length.
They're not. They're different lengths.
Oh, are they?
They are. This is the This is why you need to do all the labelling, really.
Oh, I see. Hang on, let's just put them all there. Right. Oh, yes. They're all only a slight. There's only a slight difference.
I know, but it won't make a...
No. So then you start off by putting C at the bottom of II on the corner.
So I have an II.
I'll show you the instruction here. So there's II. And there's C going across the bottom at right angles.
Okay, so I'm just going to double check. So in this, so when we're cutting out all the pieces, there's a II should be 1 3/4 by 16 and a half. So I'm just going to check I'm using the right piece. That one's 16 and a half.
Okay,
really.
Perfect.
I don't want to get it wrong with the first one.
No.
And then piece CC.
No, just C.
Oh, piece C, yeah, not CC. Goes across the bottom and make sure it's mirroring the way it's done here.
Yes.
Not that way, otherwise you'll have the angle going in the wrong direction. And then with the ruler, this is the edge of the fabric here, and we just want to mark that diagonal.
So it's just the full diagonal of the width of the strip underneath.
It is, and with the rulers, they have the lines on, so you can make sure you're definitely getting the right angle as well.
Yes.
So you can line it up with that 45-degree angle.
Okay, I hate to tell you, once everyone's checked out of this bright one that Joe's using, there's only 3 left. There's only 3 left of that.
And then I'm just going to sew straight across there. And then we chop the excess off here.
Oh, okay.
And that we'll have the angle on the bottom. And you'll leave
the iron on. Yeah, the iron's on, yeah. Okay, now what we're going to do is change the graphics. This is the bright one. There's only 3 left on. And Aqua one is coming in. Now, the Aqua one is the only one that you haven't seen. It's the one with all the blues and greens. We'll show you the bundle now. There it is. 8.5 meters of fabric. You get 1.5 of the azure and 1 of all the others. The azures, they haven't put the azure one at the bottom. The azure one is the second one up on that. Morning, John and Joe. You know me so well, John. Just ordered the pink one with all those pieces. I just hope it looks like a unicorn when I finish. Now, Shamoy Mary is the one that made an apron at school about 60 years ago.
Did she make the balloon quilt?
Yes.
Yes.
And she started off with your unicorn and threw it in the bin. Oh, do you know what, Shamoy Mary? You should get the zebra today as well. Anyway, then she did a patchwork of Kay Facet, which was lovely, a table runner, and then she tried the foundation paper piecing, loved it, and just loved. The only thing she can't do is random. She just can't do random colours. They all had to be kind of match around. But she absolutely loved it. So now she's got this. Now she's got this. And I knew she'd go for the pink, and she loves unicorns. She loves angels. Have you ever done an angel soft toy?
No, I don't think.
Oh, let's do one of those for Christmas, don't we, really? Because she collects angels. It was just her birthday recently, and I got this really lovely wooden angel, a really beautiful angel like that holding the dove. Anyway.
Okay, so I stitched along the line I drew in pen.
Right.
And
so do you do them all individually? You don't do chain piecing? You do one at a time, one at a time, one at a time?
I did them one at a time. Otherwise, I'd have just got confused.
Right, OK.
But you could chain piece if you're...
Yeah, but you've got to make sure your labels don't run out.
Yes. So I'm just going to cut off. I've used the 1/4 inch line there.
Yeah.
Lined it up with the line I drew, and then trim this away so I've got the 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay. And then all the seams for this are pressed open.
All right, well, I'm not going to do it.
OK, I'll carry on and do this one as well.
Yes, because I want to see it in the rough, and then we'll press it to show the main, as it were.
OK, so this one's LL, and it just has the square B on the bottom. Oh, see, I've made a mistake. I've done the angle going in the wrong direction, so I'll twist that round.
Yeah. That's Shamoy Mary's fault for messaging in, yeah.
And stitch that way this time. But that's why I wouldn't chain piece, because I'd have made a mistake already. Yes. 2 pieces in.
I think I'd be tempted just to cut one out and do one and then do my next one, because you're not going to do it in an afternoon, are you? No.
And it's quite nice. Once you've done one block, you get a feel for how it goes together.
Yes.
Although once... I did all the mains individually, but then some pieces later on I made a few sections.
Oh, OK.
So I could do a few blocks at a time.
So what's that, LL?
LL?
So LL goes there, right.
I'm hoping that's JJ. I'm going to double check.
JJ?
JJ.
I haven't seen him for ages. Oh, no, JJ. I've seen him. You should know who JJ is now.
So JJ is 17.5. Does that look 17.5, do we think? I was doing some speed cutting. Oh, it is 17.5. Brilliant.
Is that the right one?
It is, and it has a B as well on the bottom.
A B on the bottom.
A B on
with
the
the
bottom.
line going. Oh, exactly the same as we've just
Same
done
as
with
the
the
last
LL. Now, lots and lots of new buyers in today. Please remember, just putting it in your basket doesn't secure it. You do need to check out your basket. You can check out as often as you like. So you're thinking, oh, I want the zebra as well later. You can check out for this, check out for the zebra, or check out for the Sashiko later. It's one P&P of £2.95 for the whole day. So don't worry about it. Just keep checking out. There's a little box you tick and it says, do you want to continue the order or something like that. So now you're not, at the end, you're not doing a reverse. You do a reverse stitch or
I just use a shorter stitch length because often it can chew the fabric right at the end. And if you do a small enough stitch and then set the stitches when you press them and then press them open and then we sew over the ends.
When you say a smaller stitch, what size stitch are you on?
1.8.
Oh, small stitch.
There you go.
Okay.
SS has a C on again, so it bends sort of a reverse.
But this one goes the other way, doesn't it?
Like a reverse L.
Yeah. It goes on the other way, and the angle goes the other way as well, doesn't it? What's the matter, little Paul? I'm halfway through the show already.
Well, I need to make sure I get to demonstrating the horn bit.
Yes, please. Maybe I should do some ironing for you then. Did you say set it first, then press it open?
Yes.
I could do with the little iron, really.
I use my mini iron non-stop for this.
Helen's that in prep.
Sorry. I was too busy cutting.
Oh, is it sold out? It always comes in. We have it in every... I need the finger guards as well, really, don't I? Blame the ironing. It's going to take as long as the sewing, isn't it?
It does take a while.
But you don't use steam, do you, on your
Oh, it depends what mood I'm in, if I'm honest.
Okay.
Sometimes I do use the steam.
Why are we pressing them open?
Because it says to in the instructions. I mean, that's my number one reason why. It says, and seams are pressed open. But it also means it lies flat and smooth.
So maybe you need an assistant to do your ironing while you're doing the sewing. So like Shamori Mary will get Fred, her husband, to do hers for her.
It is very handy to have an assistant. I've not managed to persuade either of the kids. Well, I can't really give them the iron, can I?
No. The pink one that we're working here, we're just checking, might have sold out.
And the piece PP at the end has this section D across the bottom, so it's slightly longer.
Right. There's only one of this bundle left. I'm ever so sorry. Is this in order? Is this in the right order here?
Yes, but it doesn't matter if they go out with
There's
order.
only one left. If you want this bright one, the pink one that Joe's using now, there's only one of these left. You see, I'm surprised that the aqua one hasn't gone more, because that's... I mean, I do love pink, but I love the aqua one on this one. I'll go and do bundles in a minute. I've just got to finish pressing this, then I'll go and do bundles in a minute. You're very quiet with your messages this morning. Is it because it's half term? Isn't it, Paul? This one next.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, have you done it wrong?
No, I've done it right. I thought I'd lost something.
We are up. I've got one more to press, and then we can. I'll go do bundles because Joe needs to get on to the next section.
And then when these are all pressed,
yeah,
they are laid out in this order, so I-I-L-L-O-O, and then seamed together to make a large...
Oh, hang on. I haven't got an O-O.
No, because they're not...
They haven't got... Oh,
they've got
me
little
being
pieces on the
careful where I
bottom.
put them, but... So where's O-O then? Are there others that aren't in there? Oh,
Let's
yes,
have
a
a
few.
That's R-R.
No, you get a template for the horn, but that's the only template, isn't it, in there?
It is everything else, all the other bits are pieced in this way with drawing the line and
okay.
sewing along the diagonal.
Okay, right. So now, look, I need... So I've got I-I-L-L. I need O-O next, please.
There's O-O.
There's O-O. Then I need R-R.
R-R.
Not enough room. We need a bigger workroom, Joe.
That's
Yeah, because what we're doing now is we're doing the cushion block. We're just doing one of them. So we're making... It's a big floor cushion. It's not a little cushion for your sofa. R-R-U-U.
U-U.
J-J. S-S. M-M. And P-P. There you go. So there's your main done.
So we have one of these left over. That doesn't go into this block yet.
Okay.
And then seam all these together along the length.
Blimey. Matching the top edge there, obviously.
Matching the top edge, yes.
Oh, no, but now they're all the
same.
same length now, aren't they? They should all be the same length.
They should all be the same length, so they should all fit together perfectly anyway.
Oh, hang on. Suzanne says, morning, John and Joe. Could you begin to make this quilt? I've only made a few small quilts from our local. Thank you, says Suzanne in Shropshire.
I think it is really straightforward and the instructions are so good. I think a beginner could do it.
Well, it's also just, it's literally being organised, isn't it?
It is.
And what did Anne's message say? You took Anne's message away? Oh, I see, yes, yeah, no, they're all concentrating on Joe's content. Right, have you got to sew those together now?
Yes.
Or were you not going to do that?
I'll do it, I'll do it.
I'll go and do fabric bundles, you do that.
They might be slightly wonky, but I'll do it as fast as I can.
Yeah, if you didn't mind. So the aqua one, oh, I don't know, I've got my glasses. Aqua is this one. Lots in baskets, lots in baskets. So what you get is you get 8.5 metres of fabric. You get a metre of each of these fabrics. That's fantastic, isn't it? And you get 1.5 metres of the azure at the end. So you get 1.5 metres, metre, 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 metre. 8.5 metres in total, and your thread and your fabulous instructions, £69.99. Rainbow next, which is the one that's hanging on the wall behind Joe's head. So this one, you get 1 metre of the purple, metre of the yellow, metre of the grey, metre of the white, metre of the blue, metre of the green, metre of the aqua, and then 1.5 metres of the flamingo, plus your thread, plus your pattern, £69.99. Right, now the last option, I think there's one left. We'll just double check now. There might not even be one left, but we'll just double check. Bring the graphics in. One left. There's one of these available now. Okay, so what? So I'm a bit confused. So there's only one available. So there's only one available. So if you've got this in your basket, you need to check out straight away because. Oh, okay. So there's one left and one in a basket. So if the person in the basket checks out now, it's gone. But if someone else comes in, puts it in the basket and checks out, then they get it. You just need to be careful. That's all. But again, you get 1.5 metres of the orange, Vienna orange, then 1 metre of all the others, the instructions and the thread. I'm going to put that one away. I'll just put that one away. There it is, very quickly, because there's only one of those. I'll put that away because I won't be showing that one again. Okay. Now remember, if you're gonna, I'll show you when we go back over. Joe's backed hers in this one. So you'll need 4 metres to back it, 4 metres to do the backing of that quilt. Because obviously you'll have to piece it, because this is what, 44 inches wide. It's £5.99 for 1/2 metre. So I've never seen it before, never seen it before. I've seen we've done it in waves. There you go, you haven't seen it because it's a premiere. I'll show you the back of Joe's quilt in a second. The thing is, it's lovely fabric full stop, whether you're going to make a blouse out of it, a dress out of it, the back of a cushion, anything like that. That's beautiful. How much was it? £5.99 for 1/2 metre, 100% cotton, machine washable. Do you want me to do these 2 other fabrics while I'm here? Unicorns. Now, this is different. This is 80%. Yeah. Okay, this is 80% cotton, 20% polyester, 140 centimetres wide. This is pop art, duck egg pop art, $4.99. Nice, isn't it? Oh. Now, the most popular of the two unicorn fabrics is the next one, the pink on linen. And here we go. Here we go. I'm not surprised this is gorgeous, because you all know, we had the Dalmatian version of this yesterday, didn't we, in the kit? Oops, come on. One job, John. Loads of you coming in for this one. So again, it's 80% cotton, 20% polyester, 140 centimetres wide. It's lovely, isn't it? Look. I can imagine lots and lots and lots of you making all gorgeous projects out of that one. Now, it says linen. Look, there's no linen in it. It's polyester, cotton polyester, cotton poly. OK? And I'll just fold this up and then I'll go back to Jo, because she's finished sewing the mane together. Not.
Halfway through.
Yes, you do. I won't touch because I don't know which order you're doing it in. I suppose you have to be careful, because if you're new to this, what some people would do is sew 2 strips together, 2 strips together, 2 strips together, and then sew those strips together. But you've just gone for the whole.
Just for speed, I'm just going for the whole
But in
thing.
real life, would you do 2 and 2 and 2 and then put them together, or would you just the whole lot?
I'd probably do them in pairs.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what I did.
Only reason that if you're new is if sometimes, especially if you are new and you sew lots of strips together, excuse me, can sometimes banana, which means when you're sewing them together, it can just give it a little kink in it like that.
You could always pin as well to try and avoid it bananaing.
Yes. And then would you press all of those seams open then as well?
Yes, because now in the same way we did with the diagonal line across.
Oh,
we're
you're
going to do
cut
that.
the diagonal
so
line across the top.
Yes, the top of the mane. So I'll try and get to that bit.
Yes, because we need to do the some of the face, don't we, next?
Well, I'll do the horn next, because that's the only thing that's a different technique.
John, I'm with you. I love the aquan, and I think it would be the most gender non-specific. Thank you, Mandy, in Scotland. We had lots of birthdays yesterday. Lots of people messaging in because it was their birthday yesterday.
It was Kylie's as well, wasn't it?
It was Kylie's, yeah. I know, 50. When I was in London, 3 friends of mine, I'm not going to name them, don't worry, all having facelifts.
Oh.
No, we must be getting to that age, 39. Maybe they're a bit older than me.
Thanks.
But, yes, they're not cheap.
I imagine they're quite painful as well. Don't they take a bit of recovering from?
Well, now they've been told a week.
A week?
Yeah. Surgery's come on a lot, really, since you had children. No, but some of them are just having the... You see, some of them are just having the bottom half of their jaw and the neck and the bottom half of their face. I was like, what happens about the top half of your face? Because surely your top half looks old then, compared to if you had your bottom half done.
Yeah, you'd want them to match, wouldn't you?
What do I know?
I think I'd have my neck done.
You'd have your neck done?
Just right down there, I think.
You don't need anything done.
I think that's the bit I'd go for.
Just wear a polo neck.
I like a polo neck.
The brights are sold out now. The brights has definitely gone now, so the pink one no longer available. And what were you saying, Paul? You like what? You just said before that, you went, I really like... No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No.
Right, last one.
Yeah. An ombre is when you go from dark to light and back to dark again. This one's Yeah.
Oh, in the pattern as well,
yes.
actually, there's a variation.
Oh, is
if
there?
you want to rainbow them. So there is, I followed the instructions to do the striped pattern.
Say this again.
I followed the instructions to do the striped pattern as for the standard layout. But there's one rainbow mane variation. See, there's even little things like that in the pattern.
Oh, yes, so in the pattern, you're getting a rainbow mane variation as well there. Yeah, an ombre normally goes from dark to light, back to dark, and then back to light again. But you can just ombre. It's called something else if you just go from light to dark. And the way you do it, where you dye it, is you get your piece of fabric and you've got your dye bath there, and you dip the end of this is if you're not sewing pieces together. You put the end piece of fabric in the dye, leave it 5 minutes or however many minutes. Then you drop the next one in for 5 minutes, just another couple of inches. Then you drop it in again for another 5 minutes. So the bit at the bottom eventually stays in the dye for like an hour. But the top one will only go in for like 5 minutes. So you ombre your fabric through from the dark, and then you have to then do it from the other end and join back up again. Or you can sew it.
Right, sorry, that took a bit of a while. So then, once we've got this piece,
yes,
press all the seams open.
Yeah.
And then if I flip over in the instructions, we need piece FF, which is this. Oh, I'm going to scatter all the nicely arranged pieces.
Got 14 minutes left.
I've chosen this one for the background for this.
Okay.
So piece FF, which is a 10.5-inch square, I think it is.
Yeah.
Fit that over. It doesn't cover the entire top.
Oh, so don't panic.
You want it overlapping to the seam allowance on this one, really.
Yeah. It tells you all this in the instructions.
It does. So this will all be pressed flat, and then pin it in position so that the sides are held level, and you'll get a nice angle.
Yeah.
And then mark across again with the pen, corner to corner.
So in effect, you're doing. That's not a square. Like that. It'll go like that, will it?
Yes. And then the bit you chop off, the excess
Yes.
of this, because we'll have this section then cut away.
Yeah.
And because it's already pieced, I added these bits.
Oh,
into
so
the
keep them to one
binding.
side, don't throw them away.
So you can always mix them into the binding
So
to get
can
a
you
little
see
bit of
that
rainbow.
there? You can see how when you've done that line of stitching there, this line here is creating this line here. Okay, obviously it'll be wider because it'll be pressed open.
But it doesn't cover the entire top. This is the section we've made. This is the main section.
Yeah.
Not this piece here, this section.
Yes.
And so it doesn't quite go all the way along. So you've got that little bit
Oh,
of...
you've got another one to add.
No.
So
That's
it
left
goes
over
like
at the
that,
top.
you mean, like that?
Yes.
There you go. So it goes like that. So that one's left without anything, and that one's stitched like that.
Yes.
And then you add the yellow and the white one on next. Right,
That's
now
an
we've only
ear
got
unit.
10 minutes left. So what's the most important thing? The horn, did you say, is the next important? Or do you need to sew more of this before you do the horn?
I'll leave that one
Okay,
now.
put that sign there.
For this one, I chose the dark purple for the eye and the pink for the nostril.
Okay.
So they're my nostril pieces for
Right.
later. For the horn, we'll cut out... Actually, can I give this a bit of a press? It's a bit... Thanks. You have a template for the horn. I've actually photocopied this. But at home, I just traced it onto some paper.
Yeah.
But I left that at home, so I copied one for here.
So this is the colour of the face. This is the face colour for the horn.
And you want to fit this template. We're given the size to cut this piece out, and then we trim it down so it fits the horn.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to take the rotary cutter straight to it, you
To the
can
paper, yeah.
trace
Yeah,
around
because
it.
if you took that's what I'd do, yeah.
This is the way I did it, and then I cut all four together. And you can do the horn whichever colour you want, but I like it to stand out, so I've chosen the pale. Big ruler. Probably swap to a small ruler now and tie
Yes.
section.
So now, do you lock your? Oh, you lock it out. I see what you're doing.
I don't know. I don't know what to. I wouldn't know without
Locking
doing
every
it.
time, yeah. Okay.
There we go. So that's the horn piece, and these can be discarded.
Okay. Oh, blimey.
I know
You save those for
there is a little
piggy
bit.
eyes or something like that. Right. So that's the horn.
I might fish them out before I go. And then we want piece BB, which is this large piece here.
June, hello. Good morning, June. Is that another new shirt? Looks gorgeous. We are a bit quiet this morning because we're listening very carefully, love June. No, I am as well, June. I am as well, but I understand. I just wanted to make sure you were there. And
I've done loads of turning round, haven't I? Because I didn't have a hairbrush to do my hair, so it's
I told you could use that one that's on the floor over there. I don't know whose it is. Right. So you take this one, which is BB.
This is a piece BB, and then from the top, measure 3.5 inches from this right-hand top corner.
Yeah. The instructions are very, very thorough, aren't they?
They're really good. Yeah. And then the bottom left-hand corner, 2.5 inches.
Oh, so it's not a diagonal line from corner to corner this time?
It's not.
You'll need your long ruler now.
And then move these out before I slice those up. And then line up with the ruler those 2 marks and slice this piece in half. I know, best get this right now, haven't I?
Yes, if you don't mind.
And then this is BBR, BB right.
Oh, crikey, you've added extra letters. So BB right and BB left.
You've got to be confident with your alphabet for this one.
Hannah would be rubbish at this, wouldn't she?
And then
she can't even do a sat-nav in, but she sent us off all over the place. Right.
We want the horn then in between, and it's wonky because we trim it up in a little bit.
Okay.
This will be the corner of the block.
Right.
So pop the horn. This is how we want it finished, so we'll fold that over that way. I would pin this if I was...
How do you know where to put it on that piece then?
Just sort of centre it.
Oh, so it doesn't matter, as long as it's in the centre, it doesn't matter, you haven't got marks to notch it up to, you just put it in the centre.
I mean, you can move it further down because this will be the corner of the finished block. You can have that a bit lower down.
Yeah.
So I'll
but you don't want that to go off the end, but you've got the end going off there. You wouldn't.
It doesn't matter because when it folds, when it's pressed out...
Okay.
It would be like that.
Right, okay.
I hope so.
Okay.
It's been a couple of weeks since I made this, so I'm worried now.
It took so long to make it.
Don't you like my quilting, though?
What?
Do you like my quilting?
I love
stars and rainbow.
Stars? Where's the rainbow? Oh, yeah, just keep sewing.
Sorry.
I didn't even notice the rainbows. There's the stars. Can you see that at home? The rainbow goes across the whole... I'd just done all rainbows, man.
It was difficult. I had to do it with a pen on a string. I used my water erasable pen on a string to get the art.
Oh. So now you have to run off 1/4 inch before the end of the point, do you?
I just carried on. This will be trimmed away.
Okay.
But this bit here,
yeah.
And then join this piece on the other side.
Okay. Does it matter where, again?
No.
Because you're going to cut... Oh, I see exactly what you're talking about.
Because we're going to press it and trim it.
Yeah. So you're like putting a dart in almost, aren't you? Into the, so you've taken a rectangle fan, put a dart in, it creates a very odd shape, but then you're then going to cut a rectangle out of what's finished.
Yes, I've missed a bit out. So I'm going to press it, I'm going to do it properly.
Okay.
I'll press this seam open and then I'm just going to trim this so it's a straight edge and then add that piece.
Is that what you're supposed to do?
Yes. Press that, sorry.
You're being a bit eager there.
And then with the ruler again, we want to follow this edge.
Oh, I see, making that edge a straight edge.
We're giving ourselves a straight edge.
Yeah.
So that we can add the other bit comfortably. There we go. So take away this bit.
Yeah, I see.
And then join this bit on.
Yeah. And you go the whole length of the piece of darker fabric?
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah.
So line those up.
Okay.
But you do have, well, I hope, I'll say this now, you do have excess fabric to play with, so, because we trim it down quite a bit.
Yes. So why is the horn any different? Oh, because it's just this adding the dart in, rather than squares with the triangles out. Because the rest of the quilt is all made with squares, with another square sewn across and folded back and trimmed off. So the horn is the only bit where you're creating a new bit of fabric, basically.
Yes, I think it's because it's just such a narrow angle on the horn that this is the easiest way to do it.
Quite nice to do the horn in. I know it's not in the bundle, but if you've got some lame or some
That would look really cute.
and something glittery, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, but you wouldn't use that fabric though, Paul. Yeah.
So then when we've got this, I should have got a larger square ruler.
Yeah.
We want to trim it down to 9.5 by 11.5.
Right, but it's easier if you get a square ruler rather than one of these, isn't it?
Yes, I left the big square ruler out there. I did have
Do you want me to go and get it?
No, it's all right.
Are you sure? I can get it. No, it means I've got to go in the office. Everyone at home will hear all the office wittering away if I go now. Now, whereabouts is it? On your prep table?
Well, anyone, the 12-inch I
there's
used...
some here. There's some here anyway.
The 12-inch square one will do the job, I think, will it?
We've only got a couple of minutes. Oh, somebody's had to tidy up. That's fine, I've got one. Just got 3 minutes, that's why I was rushing.
Ooh. I best have the ruler the right way round.
Yes.
So 9.5.
So what are you
So
lining it up with?
This corner of the horn, use that as your bottom left-hand corner.
Okay, and it's 9. That's it.
So 9.5. And it's going to be by 11.5.
Oh, so it's not a square? It's a
No, it's a
rectangle.
rectangle.
Okay.
Have I got this right before
So
I cut
9.5 here, and then 11.5 across there.
Yeah. Shouldn't really. I'm not doing this in the best way, but there we go. I'm going to flip this round. And I want 9.5 by 11.5, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
And then this is our finished panel for the horn. Sorry, I'm going to go this way.
Okay.
There we go. So we've got the...
There you go. So that's how you create the horn. And then what you do is you'll then add...
All these are made as separate units and joined together, but it all follows this same method with the drawing the pen and the diagonals. That's the only bit that's different.
And the other pieces of background here, is that like a sash? They're like little... Oh, I see. There's a block there. So they all just come together, really, don't they?
Yes, this is one block, so a long background piece, but it has that
triangle
square on the bottom, and we draw the line to make that. But it's really straightforward.
Okay, so when you've made a hole, there's nothing else we need to talk about there. When you've made a whole one, if you're just going to do a cushion, you'd put some wadding behind it, quilt it, and then make it into the cushion.
Yes.
But if you were doing this, how do you work the sashing? Does it tell you in the pattern?
It shows you exactly how to do the sashing, and the thing to keep in mind... There we go. So it shows you how to sash it. So join them along here first, and then this central strip. But make sure when you pin to join them together, make sure these seams line up. So you've got that nice cross in the centre and it all lines
And remember
up.
on the instructions, this is the small one. This is the small. Can you imagine? So the big one is one more along and a whole row further down. It'd be enormous. Huge. But that's not what your bundle makes. Your bundle makes this with a little bit left over, a little bit of fabric left over. You're back in an hour. Now, we've got brand new zebra. Zebra. But we've also got brand new unicorns as well. And the reason they're in the show together, she'll explain later, because it's a hack on the pattern. So we'll see you in an hour. Thank you very much indeed for that. I shall go back to these. Right, so I've got the aqua here, first of all. Lots in the baskets. Remember, it's not yours till you check out. $69.99. We'll get you this 8.5 meters of fabric. A meter of all of the colours, except for that one where you get 1.5 meters of the azure. So there's the kit, there's the thread, there's the pattern, £69.99. Then I've got this one. Now, the pink one that Joe was using is sold out, sold out, sold out, sold out. This one now is very limited. This is they called this one the rainbow. This is the one that was on the wall behind Joe. Again, you get 1 meter of all those lovely fabrics, except you get 1.5 meters of flamingo. Plus the thread, plus the instructions. And the instructions are absolutely thorough, so thorough. £69.99. Okay, then I've got the fabrics here. So, oh, I didn't show you the back of the, it's gone now. Oh, it's not gone, but the back of Joe's was done in this. Brand spanking new today. The clouds, or sky, blue sky. It's lovely, isn't it? Remember, you need 4 meters, which is 8 units if you're going to do the backing of that one. £5.99 for half a meter, remember? It's lovely, isn't it? I'd like a shirt made out of that one. I think it'd be very peaceful and relaxing, wouldn't it? So that's that one, 100% cotton, machine washable. Do you know what I might be tempted to do? I might be tempted to do the background, or maybe it'd be too busy. Pink one first, pink unicorns first. This is 80% cotton, 20% polyester. £4.99 for half a metre. Linen, look, there's no linen in it. It's a cotton polyester mix. £4.99 for half a metre. It's a lovely weight as well, lovely soft weight, that one. And then the last but not least, I've got pop art unicorns. And that's a lovely on duck egg blue. These are quite cute, aren't they? They're slightly quirky, these, aren't they? There you go. Again, £4.99 for half a metre. Duck egg pop art unicorn fabric. Love the rainbows now. Oh, look at the gemstones. I've seen all the gemstones. Right, after break, Jenniffer Taylor is here with Sashiko. We've got brand new templates. Now, they're not the templates you're used to. They're not the pieces of fabric that you have to trace off. They're actual proper, like stencils, we called them when I was at school. Do you remember we all had one of those with letters and we used to do everybody's names in block capitals? Back here in 3 minutes, please.
Join us on Facebook. Simply search for The Sewing Quarter and like our page for the latest news and more.
Finally, we can start spreading the news. From Friday the 1st of June, we are going to be changing our hours, and I think you're going to like it. First of all, we're going to be switching on our live on-air light at the slightly later time of 9 a.m. So that gives you an extra hour for breakfast in bed. But even better than that, we are going to be live through until 2 p.m. So that's an extra hour on air live, giving us 5 whole hours of dressmaking, sewing, quilting, 7 days a week. So join us live on air for 5 whole hours from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. 7 days a week from the 1st of June.
So today I'm going to show you how to do a double stitch. Now you would use a double stitch at the start and the end of your sewing to secure your threads rather than using a really big knot. You're going to want to take your needle through the front of your fabric first and then come out back through the front. So I'm using really big stitches at the moment so I can see what I'm doing. You're going to leave a tail before you then repeat that in and out motion. So you can see that's 1. I'm going to go back through again and that's 2. So you can see I've done 2 stitches in the same place. That's giving me my double stitch. You would then do whatever stitch it is that you're going to go on to do. So I'm just going to do a quick running stitch. Okay, so now I'm going to do my double stitch at the very end of my stitch there. So it's repeating the process. So I'm going in, and then back out, in, and then back out, before clipping my threads. So obviously you would clip these closer when you get to finishing your garment. So there you have it.
Join us on Wednesday the 30th of May for 2 hours with dressmaking guru Jenny Smith. At 8 a.m. it's the return of Jenny's popular Hepworth pinafore pattern. Then at 10 a.m. Jenny debuts her brand new pattern. The Riley Collection top and dress pattern is perfect for beginners with a gentle introduction to top stitching, bust darts and inseam pockets. All you have to worry about is deciding which fabric to mix and match from. Our hand-picked selection of denims, cottons, chambray and linen. So tune in for stylish, modern dressmaking with Jenny Smith, Wednesday the 30th of May at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 687.
Now, did you know that news about us changing? You see the Natasha advert? In case you missed it, I'll just explain, right? So if you watch on Sky from Friday, the 1st of June, how's it the 1st of June already? But from Friday, the 1st of June, if you watch on Sky, you can watch us live from 9 o'clock till 2 o'clock. Then from 2 o'clock right the way through the night until 9 o'clock the next morning, you get the repeat, like you do at the moment. However, if you watch on Freeview, you can still watch us from 9 till 2 live on air. Then from 2 till 4, you have the repeats. Then obviously we go off air. And then the next morning from 8 till 9, you'll get to repeat then. And then we'll go live again at 9 o'clock. So from Friday, lots of excitement going on. Everyone's a buzz in the office. Anyway, we know how much you love Sashiko. And we know how much you love Jenniffer Taylor doing Sashiko. So we've got both here for you today. But I've got some these are all made from brand new, now they call them templates, I would call them stencils. But I'll show you that in a minute, because we always have people saying, oh, I want to start Sashiko, but I don't know where to start. Start with our starter kit, So in the starter kit, you do get the book, which is the most important, because you want to read about it, read about the history, read about the stitches, what they all mean, everything like that. So you get the book. The Ultimate Sashiko Source Book, which is a fantastic book. We've got this cushion somewhere, but nobody can find it. I think someone's taken it home. Somebody's got a blue and white living room. It's taken that home, I think. Anyway, so you get the book. You also get a metre of fabric. You get half a metre of the blue and half a metre of the ecru, I think that one is. You also get a Hera marker. You also get 8 needles. You also get a Chikopi paper. And you also get 2 threads, a red one and a white one. All of that for £39.99. There you go. It's going in baskets. It is going in baskets. It's a brilliant present, actually. Fabulous, isn't it? £39.99. Now, do you not want to do individuals from here yet, then? Do you want me to do that one first? OK. Right, I've got another bundle, which is the bundle which you could... This sampler, this gorgeous sampler. Upside down. This gorgeous sampler. You could make... But in this bundle... You get 1.5 meters of fabric, you get 2 white threads and a red thread, but then these are what I've been talking about, brand spanking new today. Now, when I was younger, I called these stencils. They're calling them templates, look. So this is the 6-inch, yeah, it's got a name, hang on. What's it called? Yeah, I haven't got my glasses. Hemp leaf, 6-inch hemp leaf. This all comes in the bundle. That's the 6-inch hemp leaf. Then you've got this one here, which is the 4-inch 7. I'll go through all these for you in a minute. I brought my glasses over. For some reason left over there. Then you've also got the 4-inch, that must be clamshell or waves, isn't it? Waves. 4-inch waves. All these come in the kit. Then you've got 4-inch weight. Weights, this one's called. Not weight as in wait a minute, weight as in, oh, that's heavy. And then you've also got 4-inch... Cherry blossom. Oh, talking about our friend Cherry, she had to have her house all pumped out, didn't she, from the flash floods? Dickens Heath had flash floods. So I've done that, done the fabric, done the threads, done the templates, everything like that. Here's the still. Oh, there's the pictures wrong. You do get 2 white ones and 1 red one. 2 white. Brand spanking new state. Now, if you want to buy, if you've already got that, or you've got your own fabric, and you want to buy the templates individually, you can do. I've got the 7-inch hemp leaf first. Jennifer's going to show you how to use all these when we go over. Oh, 6-inch, I say. It's not 7-inch. 6-inch. 6-inch hemp leaf design. Brand spanking new today. Oh, now, for a Sashiko hour, which is always busy, we're a bit limited. Right, OK. Then I've got cherry blossom, 4-inch cherry blossom, £5.49. Okay, then I've got weights. Four-inch weights, that one. Jennifer's going to take you through all of this in a minute. I'm just going to show you everything that's for sale, so I don't need to disturb. A £5.49, that one. Weights design. Okay, then I've got waves. You are loving your templates tonight. £5.49, waves design. And then last but not least, we've got the 7, just called 7, as in the number 7.
7 treasures.
7 treasures. I haven't got my glasses, you see, that's the problem. But it's not got the, yeah, 7 treasures. I'll have to ask Jennifer all about that in a second. Right, now very quickly, I've got some of these items for sale on their own as well. I've only got a few of these, but we just thought we've got a few left over. We'll put them in, so you can buy the book for £15.99. It's a gorgeous book, really interesting, got all about the history of the stitches, how to do them, how to make samples, how to make cushions, sampler cushions and everything. It's a really, oh, that's lovely. Really gorgeous book for £15.99, that one. All about the different stitches, the history of the stitches. Okay, I've also got chalk copy paper. If you use the Hera marker, which you won't use with the stencils, this one's chalk copy paper, which I love. It's like tracing paper, but you get the blue, the green, the pink, the yellow and the white in there. £4. You can use that, if you're a dressmaker, you can use this as your tracing paper with your tracing wheel. And then I've got the Hera marker, yeah, Hera marker, which I'll show you, Jennifer will show you later on. We're not doing this to start with, because we're doing the stencils to start with, but just in case you've started your Sashiko, you think, I want one. And then last but not least, the needles. The Sashiko, special Sashiko needles. These always sell out, the needles. Oops, there you go. Different sizes, you've got 4 different sizes in there, 8 in total. Okay. Let's go. You've got stencils, haven't you? Yes, so I don't need to bring anything with me. Oh, I'll bring this. I haven't seen you for ages.
Oh.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good. Right. Let's put that there. These stencils, templates, must save a lot of time.
Yes. Yes, they do. They really do. They are a little godsend. And actually, they complement the book beautifully, and
right.
Hopefully I'll explain once we start demonstrating. But no, they're fabulous. So in the templates, obviously you get your template that you'd obviously use to mark onto your fabric, which I'll show you in a second. But what I really like as well at the back, it actually tells you how to stitch them. And we talk about the difference between, you know, just stitching it or doing it the Sashiko way, the sashiko way.
Sorry, I'm just going to have to do something to you.
What's happened?
Your necklace is the side of your neck is clanking your microphone.
Let me know if you want me to take it off. So yeah, my necklace.
Oh yes.
No, not anything else.
Please.
Woo!
Right.
You mentioned. So yeah, what I really like about it is that it's actually telling you the way to stitch, which is what makes Sashiko different from just doing a running stitch. Okay, so there is a very specific method and way of doing your Sashiko stitching. So this is the weights one.
Yeah, what you've got to the graphics there is the whole, all of them. Plus your fabric, plus your embroidery thread. But this one here itself is called, if you want them individually, this is called the weights one.
Yeah, so this is the weights one, okay? So on the back there, you can see it's telling you how you'd need to stitch that, and obviously that comes with your template, which is that one there.
Brilliant.
Okay, so this is a 4-inch template.
Yeah.
Okay. Now all of them are 4 inches, apart from this one, which is your hemp leaf one.
Right.
Which is a 6-inch one. Okay. And when you think about the inches, it will make sense when you really start to play with your templates, because you can just trace them out as they are, or you could start blending and merging them, which is
so you
cool.
don't just do a hemp leaf or a cherry blossom.
No,
you
could mix and match them if you wanted
fantastic.
to. So I'm going to use this one very quickly, which is our weights one.
Yeah.
Okay, just so I can trace that out very quickly. So with this, you're not you can't use your Hera marker on that. So you're not scraping into it. Like our templates before, you would sort of trace around them with a
Yes.
pen. These ones are plastics, so completely reusable. I'm using my water erasable pen here just so you can really see what I'm going to do. Otherwise,
but at home you could use the mechanical pencils.
Yes.
We've only got it available in the pink and the green at the moment.
Those are my preferred choice when I'm doing my Sashiko.
Yeah, but if you're at home, we're saying if you're at home, use these.
Yes.
You're doing that to show the camera.
So you can really see what I'm doing, yeah.
But these make a really, really lovely fine line. So that's the pink one. What you get is, I haven't got it in a packet to show you, it's a mechanical pencil, but you also get 6 refills as well. And this at the end here is your rubber if you make a mistake. $9.99. That's the pink one. And then this is the green one. Okay, now if you've got the stencils in your basket, Little Paul's saying, can't guarantee it, more people have got the stencils in their basket, the full kit, the full kit and the individuals.
Oh, well.
Okay, if you want to buy them individually by themselves, they're okay at the moment, but the bundle, the brand new bundle, please check out as soon as you can, because there's more people got it in their basket. Have we put the green one in? Sorry, yeah. Okay. More people have got it in their basket. We'll put the starter kit up there. That's the one with the copy paper and the book and everything like that. Right,
okay, so you've got your plastic template. You're not putting any pins in this, so again, it's not like our ones where we had the paper. I've always said, make sure you're pinning down your char copy paper because you don't want to get that shadowing.
Okay.
With this one, you've got a bit more flexibility.
Okay.
So you've got these circles here.
I was about to say, what are they?
Sashiko.
Yeah.
And then obviously, again, at home, you can just go ahead and just stitch that if you want. But if you want to do the Sashiko way, then obviously on the back of your template, you've got your clear running lines, your guidelines on how to do them.
Because there's a history, which is why getting the book would be brilliant, because there's a history of how it's stitched and why it's stitched
and why it's stitched. So you mentioned about what weight. What does that mean? So if I go to our Ultimate Susan Briscoe book, if I go to the page we've already pre-set out there, we've got the section here. So you've got the 7, which is the 7 treasures.
Yes.
Which we've not touched on just yet, but there's the information regarding the 7 treasures and why you're stitching it. And then if we come over to this page here, this is where our weights, it's our scale weights. Okay, but they're all based around that sort of 4-inch. On this case, on the templates, it's a 4-inch template which creates this circle shape throughout the pieces. So this is why you can merge these two together, because they're working within the same scale. Okay.
Got it.
So if you're when you're creating your template here, so you can see I've just done one section already, but you want to continue that to make it a bigger piece.
Yes.
Then you've noticed that you can see it's been cut into 4 anyway. You've got 4 sections.
Yeah.
Okay. So all I can then do is just literally move that over and mirror it.
I was going to say because you haven't marked the edge of the template at all.
No.
So you lay the. You only go over by a half. You don't go over by the whole thing.
It depends on how good your eye is or what kind of pattern it is, but I can see that I could overlay.
No, that's the best idea.
Knowing full well that it's going to mark perfectly, so you can see that it's then continued on.
Oh, yes. So
throughout
then the next one you just line
it up
again.
you can go there, you can go back up again on that way, or you could measure it out like that. So you can see that it's running through that centre there. So you can place this wherever you want, but you just can keep repeating that pattern. Just keep going and going. And then obviously then you get to start stitching.
Yes.
So if I just bring in my other piece, which I've already started here, I've got not only the weights one, which we've just done in this section here.
Yes.
So that's that pattern piece that we're putting that in.
So you just had so that's this one here. Yeah.
Just wait for them to come over. There you go. So there's that template there that we've just done in this section here.
Yeah.
Then I've used my 7 treasures, which is this one here, which is I've just used the bottom line. So where it comes in a square, I've only done the 2 bottom squares to give me a continuous line across. And then if I come down again, I've used my other template, which is our waves. So it's not clamshell, which it would be in our quilting world. So you can see in this section here that I've done my waves, but all these have all blended in together.
That is brilliant. So you can mix and match, because when we've done Sashiko in the past, we've just done Sashiko round a peacock or round a chicken or whatever it was, And then when we've done these traditional shapes, we've just done the one traditional. We haven't mixed and matched them. You might have done.
In the early days when we were just focusing purely on the traditional, using your Hera marker, and I've talked about ratios, and you can break down your grids, because as we've talked about before when we talk about traditional Sashiko, everything would be worked into a grid.
Yes.
And then that grid may be split or enlarged or squashed to create different designs. But all of the patterns at some point can merge into one or another.
Wow. Yeah, because I didn't do any of the early shows with you, so I've only done the cushions.
So you've only ever
and things.
seen
Yeah,
what we've seen.
exactly.
Whereas these templates are great because it's taking all the maths out for you, because I can see that all of these are able to be interlinked. Now, it might be that you might want to just shift it slightly. So if I just, the wave one here, if I put it square on, you can see that these aren't running into each other, but by simply shifting it up.
Oh, yes.
Now, all of a sudden, that's giving me that shape, that circular shape that I'm looking for. So that's how I would merge that one in together. And then the same with this one here, I'd bring it back down again so it comes and merges into that one. So you can really start playing around with the shapes.
The hemp leaf one is 6 inch and these are 4 inch. But if you put 3 of these together, that's 12 inches. And put 2 of those together, that's 12 inches. So you could work some really intricate things.
Exactly. I mean, the only difference between this one and our hemp leaf design, obviously, that we're working in sort of circular shapes here, and these are working with your more straight lines. However, when you're building something like this on our sampler here, I was able to work out where I wanted to put my pieces because of the sizes that we're working with. So even though the stitch or the run, if you like, won't be going into our hemp leaf, you can work out your patchwork
but I was
on those
also thinking you could do something amazing like you've done here. And then you could just do a border of hemp, not mixing and matching those.
I see what you mean,
and then do a border of your hemp leaves and then do that again on the other side. And that would give you that lovely stripe of the hemp leaves going through the middles.
Exactly.
And does it matter? Oh, hang on, I've got to give you some information first of all.
Okay.
Hemp leaf template on its own has sold out.
Really? Wow.
Cherry blossom, which we haven't even got to yet.
This one here, this is our motif.
Sold out.
Wow, okay.
7 treasures. Is that rough?
No, that's 7 treasures. Well done, well done.
7, only because you told me off last time. There's only 3 of those left. There's only 3 of those left.
That's the weight.
Okay, so you've got not guaranteed there's more than 3, you've got that back. Weight. There are 3 left, but more of you got it in your basket. And waves, there's 1 left, and more than 1 of you got it in your basket.
Okay.
The ultimate kit, which was this, all sold out. I'm ever so sorry. The Sashiko starter kit. Okay, you need to start checking out on that. Lots of people have got it in their basket, not checked out. And the book on its own, I imagine, is flying out as well. We'll just double check through.
Okay.
Right, okay.
So I just wanted to show you that it's not just about the single template. This is where it's really worth getting them all together if you can, if you've got time to, because you can really start playing around with those ratios and creating some really beautiful, intricate designs. So those are the little ones that we've covered off.
Yes.
The next one that I wanted to mention, so these are all Moyen Sashi ones, which is basically all based on repeated pattern, whereas when we've done Sashiko before in the past, it's been like the one stitch. So it's all about building and layering up multiple stitches, which is really good for your repair, which is basically what it was used for, essentially. This is the motif one, so this is really great to create as a central focus in your pieces, but it's not necessarily something that would be repeated. It's more of a kind of, it's more of a statement piece, if you like, and that's our cherry blossom.
Coming in now, there you go.
That's the cherry blossom there. Okay, so even though I've got that backwards, it doesn't really make much difference.
All the templates are now sold out. All the templates have now sold out completely. I do apologise. We'll get them in again if we can. So, and the last one is the hemp leaf. Now, this one's my favourite one. It's one of the most iconic ones, I think, when you talk about your Sashiko. So this one you can just keep repeating through. So again, if I just show you and break that down for you so when you get it home, you know what you're doing with it. So I'm going to use the white one here. Because if you see, there isn't actually a full hemp in that design yet. Oh, okay.
It's almost like 2 halves.
Oh, yes. Got lots of holes in this one.
So lots of holes because it's a bigger piece, isn't it? So if I just hold it there. So if I just...
It's funny, your I don't know if you're going to do it on this one, but when you did the other one, you marked it up as though you were stitching it, because you go in lines, stitching it. And when you did the other template, you were going in the lines that you would automatically stitch it in.
I'm trying to think of a way of... So with this template, you can really just start breaking down the pattern, really.
Yeah.
So if I just do one so you can...
But as you say, you haven't got a whole...
There's not a whole...
whole leaf, is
whole
there?
leaf in there, yeah.
Oh, I'd spend hours doing this, I think.
Oh, this is like quite therapeutic, to be honest.
Therapeutic and a bit addictive, I imagine.
Okay, so there's the one part of it there. So I'm going to bring it up now and start doing the second one.
Yeah.
Oh. And I do like these because if you are going to use your water eraser ball, for instance, you can obviously wipe this down after. But I do prefer to use the chalk pen. Yeah, mechanical pens.
Well, the pencil line, excuse me, will be much, much finer. I mean, we're obviously doing it in this so you get a good view on the telly, but in real life, the mechanical pencil will give you a really, really fine, precise line.
Absolutely, and you won't have to do anything to get it out because when you're stitching, it starts to come out itself.
Yeah.
So it saves you time later on. So that's the template drawn. I've not drawn that central one because that will give you again another a hemp leaf on the other side.
Yes,
so you can see there's the half of the hemp leaf there. Yes. So it's repeating itself 1, 2, 3, and it will carry on. So how you finish off your hemp leaf is just by bringing that up.
Oh, I see. So
you can see there, that's the hemp leaf.
Yes.
That's that shape there. But obviously you just keep repeat, and obviously you can go. So that's going to give you a really dense pattern stitch, which is what we've got over here on our sample. If I just bring that over there. So you can see I've just repeated it in that line, missed out that edge there because I didn't want to repeat it either side. So I'm just giving me that kind of column, if you like, of our hemp leaf. What I really like about it, and again, this is what I think these templates with the Susan Briscoe book really does help you kind of break down these patterns, because then you can start looking at variations. If I just bring that one here. So this one, I've missed out sections, so these are now scattered hemp leaves.
Oh, I like that.
So rather than being stacked on each other, this is all using the same template, but we're breaking it down to create a scattered hemp leaf.
The thing that's good about this as well is if before you do it, say if that's going to be the front of your cushion or something, before you do it, you could do it on paper or using a pencil, just to make sure the pattern is the one you want, isn't it?
And then the last one, which I really, really like, this one is the fragmented one. So we've broken it down.
Where's that from?
It's exactly the same template. So if I just bring that in. So you're only picking up certain bits. So where it comes into the sort of the 3 junction, if you like, the 3-piece, I've only done 2 marks.
Yes.
And then I've only ever done the circle parts of the hemp leaf. So if I bring that in for you. So these bits here where they meet in 3s, I've not done this line, I've not done that line or our horizontal lines. I'm just focusing on the meat, where the flower, if you like.
I love that
And then where the 3 junctions come. But this is a fragmented one, which again, Susan Briscoe's book goes to the book
in a second. But now, when you do this one, you follow lines, don't you? You follow when you're stitching it.
So this one, I mean, we can go through stitching when you come back, but in order to get this template, these are the lines that you would follow to be able to know that you're staggering in the right position.
Yes. Well, I was just going to ask, there's no lines in that one?
There isn't, but you would still continue to stitch in that methodical way. So you can see that I'm running all the way down. So you would still work methodically. It's just that you're not stitching as much.
So you wouldn't do a propeller, and a flower, and a flower.
It would still be methodical. So we can go through that when you come back.
Yeah, no, I'm just going. Well, I want you to go through the book with you first of all before we go through the thing. Only because we've got the book on its own, but not very many of them. So, are there any of the starter kit left? Right, the Sashiko starter kit. So if you want the whole bundle, which has got, there it is. So it's got the book, the chalk copy paper, the 2 threads, the metre of fabric, the needles, and the Hera marker. If you want all of that, if you've not started, then $39.99 for all of that. Always sells out. Whenever we get it, always sells out. But today, now there's not many of them, we've also got the book on its own. So I just want, if you don't mind, Jennifer, you've got your own copy there, we'll just go through the book, because some people might tune in for the first time going, well, this Sashiko.
What is it?
Well, I've heard of Sashiko. So I'll take you through the book, and then Jennifer can take you through what about the stitches and the history of it, sort of thing. But it comes from, almost upcycling, fixing, doesn't
well,
it?
this is how I kind of got onto it. So once I started sewing, and obviously the first thing I made was my wedding dress. So obviously after you've done
hardly upcycling.
Hardly upcycling, but obviously you're very broke, if you like, after having a wedding because all the expenses. But I still wanted to sew. So for me, upcycling was a really good way of doing that. There's fabric in my wardrobe. I could just cut up bits and bobs. That obviously shirts was my #1 upcycle from Kirk. But it was while I was playing around with upcycling that a friend introduced me to Sashiko, which is in Berlin, and when I found out and started looking into the history, which is what I really love about this book, because it really does take you down to what it's all about.
Yes.
It's actually a repairing stitch. That's all it is. And it's only a running stitch. However, how it's layered and built up to create some really beautiful designs, which we've brought to you on many occasions.
Yes, yes.
Would be repairing your clothes. And
So
I just ran away with it.
A posh darning.
It's exactly that. It's exactly that. So it's talking about, obviously, the history where it comes from. But what really got me hooked, not only is it because it's like an upcycling throwback, if you like, but it's also the stitches themselves have meaning. And that's where I really got lost into the technique.
So when they first started, they'll have just been doing straight stitches to fix their clothes and everything.
Yeah.
But the patterns they use, like you were just saying, have all got history.
There's all history or certain meanings. So, for instance, the hemp leaf, which is probably one of the most iconic patterns.
Yes.
That would be a really good one for a newborn baby, for instance. They would sew that onto the clothes or the cloth or the quilts for the baby because it's a protection sign. It would be about good health and making sure that they're safe. So there's a reason why you're stitching it. It's not just about making it look pretty.
Pretty, yes.
So yeah, that's the hemp one there. So the great thing about this book, it goes through the traditions if you want to know about that. You've got really nice ideas for quick projects for making and sampling. So these are obviously some coasters that you could use your Sashiko stitching while you're learning.
Yeah,
so
but also a good way to practice.
It's a great way to practice. So you've got some nice little project ideas in there as well, big and small. So this is what we talk about here, where you're blending. So there's multiple different styles in there, but all breaking down that ratio. So again, that looks like about a sort of 2 or 3 inch square ratio that you're working and breaking down into. So you've got your Murasashi one, which is your sort of your pattern designs, through to your one stitch, which is that one. That's one stitch
now, can you do it in any colour then, or do the colours mean?
No, well, traditionally it would have done through in white. Occasionally they would put colour through, especially if it was a celebration of like colours like red, and which is why we've put red in your kit. Gold as well occasionally. Again, it really just depends on, it's me standing properly, what the occasion is for. When I teach Sashiko, though, I love using different coloured threads.
Yes.
Not only because you get to then realise how and why you're stitching it, because it is very methodical, and there's a specific way of doing it. So I really like playing around with colour because I just think it brings a modern twist to it.
Yes, well,
but
exactly.
if you're going to go traditional, then as you can see with this beautiful sampler piece here, and in real life, it's just absolutely stunning.
Yes.
It's all done in that traditional white thread, occasionally with these bits of green, maybe gold, maybe red in there.
And is the background always plain? I was just thinking, if you had a really gorgeous fabric that you love and you wanted to put some Sashiko on it, you could still stay with the red and white sort of thing, but use your own fabric behind, I suppose, couldn't you?
Well, I mean, again, traditionally, it would have been stitched into things like indigo dyed fabric, so it would be very sort of blues-based. However, again, there's, let's bring it into the modern time, and there's nothing you can't Sashiko.
No, I was going to say, because you're not going to offend anybody by doing it different colours. It's not like a culture that if you suddenly used a green, they're going to be like, oh, you never use green. Because look at the cut in there, the colours in there are beautiful.
Well, this is why I really like it, because you can clearly see the stitch patterns on how you would stitch it. And again, like you could just go in and do a running stitch, and like you said earlier with that one piece where you could just, you're stitching the propellers first and then you're going to do the flowery bits. You can, and from the front, you wouldn't know any different. The telltale signs are in the back.
But also,
and that's what really makes the difference.
If you take up a hobby, it's not, if you do motorbiking, you're not going to think, oh, let's do it a cheats way. You do it because you love doing it.
Exactly.
So people take up Sashiko because they love the history, because they love the look of it, but also the technique, because it's a new technique, isn't it?
Although you did make me laugh about offending, because there's a bit in the section related to the waves, which is very similar to the it's one of the templates we've got here. So you've got the waves and the grasses. So waves would be in the summer, because obviously the water, the breeze would make you feel cool, so that's why you'd be stitching it. But if you wore your grasses in the summer, that's a big no-no.
Oh, really?
So your grasses would be something that you'd be stitching in the autumn, which is what made me giggle a little bit. But I'm pretty sure no one's really going to notice in this day and age.
So in this book, obviously the templates have all sold out and everything. You can create your own shapes, can you, from grids and
so
things
it's
like that?
all based on a grid. So once you've got your grid work down, which is where the hera marker really comes in, I don't think I've got a ruler to show you, but traditionally what you would do is make your grid using your hera marker. No, I'm just eyeballing this.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you would work your design into the grid. So for instance, if it was the waves one we were talking about, so I know my grid isn't very even at the moment, so let's try and make it a little bit more even.
Yeah.
You would be stitching into the grid like so to create your wave shape.
Oh, so it means it's uniform.
Yeah,
working
yeah.
on the grid.
It's just to give you the evenness, and eventually your stitches would become your base, so your grid would disappear. You just go for it.
But that comes with experience, doesn't
Exactly.
it? But then, is that Sashiko then?
That's all
just this
Sashiko.
picture? You see, because it's not just fixing something or making a pretty pattern.
No.
I mean, that is incredible, because that's all different stitches, isn't it? Done within
a pattern.
A design.
Yeah, exactly. So again, traditionally it would have been just a mending technique to obviously repair the clothes, because obviously they didn't have the money to be able to go and buy new clothes. And then obviously, like most things do, that kind of fizzles out, and then it got repurposed. So then the designs got more beautiful, more elaborate, and then obviously we're on beautiful pieces like kimonos and things like that. But if you're going to break it right down, traditionally it would be for repairing.
If you follow Jenniffer on Instagram, there's a picture. Is it your denim jacket?
Yes.
That doesn't need fixing. It didn't have a hole in it.
It didn't have a
but
hole
you've done a whole kind of Sashiko.
Yeah,
I'm saying the elbow. I don't know where it is, but it's kind of like you've done a whole Sashiko number on it.
Yeah,
haven't you,
so
really?
I've purposely put holes in the jacket, and then I've gone with some really beautiful African wax print material. So again, very bright. So again, if you traditionally you wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So then I've been kind of repairing the holes, but then also doing the stitching into the denim, and it looks fab. So don't be afraid to put holes in your clothes and get Sashiko stitching. But no, it's just exactly what it was all about. It's just about playing.
Okay, so if somebody's watching for the first time, they've bought the beginner kit.
Yeah.
Can you show us how to actually do it?
With the template or from scratch?
Just the
stitch.
Some stitching. So it doesn't matter if you use the book or something you've already printed out on your.
Well,
I don't know if you'd plan to do that, but I just suddenly thought, if somebody's watching for the first time, like, oh, this sounds fascinating. I have no idea how I'd start.
Actually, I'll use that one instead. So if you're going to go with the templates, obviously I've already drawn this out. Whereas if I can get my other pen, which has got a black one in it, there you go. Yeah. I'm just going to use my template just for a straight line, just to walk you through the grid.
We've got some messages to have a look. Oh, hang on, there's an email come through from Kerry. Here you go, look. Hello, Jenniffer and John. Just love Sashiko and Jenniffer's easy guide on how to get great results. Such a relaxing sew with striking effects. Thought you might like to see a set of Sashiko designs I framed. Also the process of revamping an old denim jacket.
Yay!
Thanks to Jenniffer's great idea. Look at them on the frame, isn't it? Aren't they lovely?
That's beautiful. That is lovely. So the middle one would be your 7 treasures with little stars in the middle, little flowers in the middle. So traditionally they would hide flowers in it, which is I think what's happening in that middle piece there.
Yeah.
But it looks so beautiful. Well done, Kerry. Looks fab.
Now I've got Shelley and Clint, you know, who gave you the she shed sign.
Oh.
Morning, John and Jen. I'm just getting into Sashiko. It is easy for me to do when my fibro is playing me up. Lots of love, Shelley in Lincolnshire. Oh, no, that must be good. It must be good, Shelley. Thank you. Right.
So it's very mindful stitching, I must admit. It's really, really relaxing. So, okay, with the template, we've cheated a little bit because obviously the template's showing me my design.
Yes.
But I've just quickly drawn in what would be the grid. So you can see how it's moving between one square and another.
Oh, yes,
okay?
yes.
So when you think about Sashiko, like we said, we could just go in and stitch any of this if you wanted to, but there are a couple of rules.
Right.
The first rule would be with your thread, you can either go what I call full bore, which is just going in with all of your 6 skeins if you like, or we can break them down. But that's what's so great about your needles, because you've got different size needles for different size stitching and size threads.
Okay.
But the one thing you do want is a big fat knot in the end of your thread, which is an embroidery no-no, Sashiko yes, okay?
Right.
And you also want a nice long thread as well, because you're going to be doing a lot of work.
Because normally we say keep it short as possible.
So the elbow to wrist rule goes out of the window when it comes to Sashiko.
Right.
So it's the process is very methodical. So you normally work vertical, horizontal, diagonally. So with this one, we're going to start at the very bottom here. So as we said, with these templates, it's really lovely because you can see exactly where you want to start stitching because of the template.
Yes.
Whereas if we're going to break the Sashiko down, let me just run that stitch very quickly for you. It is a running stitch, but with a slight difference, because you'll probably notice from here that my stitches are bigger than the gaps themselves,
Yes.
whereas traditionally in running stitch would be the stitch would be the same as the gap.
Yeah.
Whereas with Sashiko there is a slight difference. And then the other rule, which you can see we're just about to get on here, where we've got this like kind of junction where we've got stitching lines meeting, one of the Sashiko rules is for those not to touch. So you remember to leave a gap, which again your template does for you, so you don't need to worry about it. But if you were doing this without the templates and drawing it into a grid, doing this design, you need to remember that rule.
Now, you're not doing one stitch at a time either.
No, so the other reason for the wonderful Sashiko needles is that they're nice and long. So again, the template takes all of that process out for you, whereas when you have to do it by hand and by eye, the needle helps you to be able to get your spacing, because you're able to put the stitches onto the needle. And before you be able to pull the needle through the fabric, you can check your spacing. Am I happy with that spacing or not? Did I do enough? Have I not done enough? So again, the template breaks all that down, so you don't have to worry about that. You just get stitching. But you can do it at home without the template.
Okay, now you've got to the end of your, if we're saying we're doing it in a row, sort of a diagonal, do you now turn around and go back the other way?
Yeah, so what I'm going to do, rather than cast off, I'm going to go over to this side and then come down the other way, and then you'll be able to pretty much do most of the design.
Oh, so you don't come across the top, you go across to this one here.
Yeah, so I'm going to still stitch.
Oh, you are going to stitch, I see what you mean.
I am going to stitch it.
I haven't got any messages, Paul. Done, Michelle.
Bring that round. So when you're Sashiko stitching, again, regardless of whether you're using a template or using your grid method, I would suggest pinking the edge of your material, because it's not like, again, it's not like embroidery where you've got it in a hoop. The fabric is free. Yes. So if you're doing quite a large piece, what's going to happen is your fabric's just going to start fraying.
And you never do it in a hoop then?
No, you never do it in a hoop.
Sharon says, hello, John and Jennifer. My mum and I love watching the Sashiko. Looking forward to the zebra. Oh, lots of people are looking forward to the zebra, Sharon. Another message from, hello, John, my name is Lucy. I enjoy watching the show, and I bought some of the things from the shows. Thank you, Lucy, my love.
Thank you.
Oh, OK, right, what's on set 2? OK, I'll be back.
OK, in a bit.
I lost you completely, Paul. I've got you now. Yeah. Oh, hang on. No, you mean the ultimate kit sold out. The ultimate, I've still got the starter kit here. Oh, OK, right, OK. So this is the bundle I've put together for you. If you missed out on the Sashiko ultimate bundle, but you wanted the fabric to go in it, 1.5 meters of fabric here. You get the pale blue, the dark blue, and the, now I think this one's cream or vanilla. It's not the ecru, is it? I'll have a look for you in a second. Oh, ivory, there you go. Azure and navy. 1/2 metre of each, £9.49. So if you've got, or if you've already got Sashiko and you want some fabric to do it in, or you missed out on the ultimate, then this was the fabric that was in the ultimate there, £9.49 for 1.5 meters of fabric. While I'm here, shall I do the beginner starter kit as well? Because I'm not sure how many of these I've got left. Yeah, keep going through for that bundle. In this, the beginning, now you might have been watching Sashiko for the very, very, very first time. This is a fantastic bundle. You get the book, you get 1 meter of the fabric, you get 2 threads, you get the Hera marker, the needles, and the char copy paper, tracing paper. There it all is. £39.99. Okay. Right, you're okay at the moment, but they are going fast. They are going very quickly. And very quickly, the book, now I didn't have many of these. 1/3 of the stock of these is gone. The ultimate Sashiko source book. £15.99. Beautiful, beautiful book by Susan Briscoe. Lovely, all about the history and the stitches. Oh, look, that looks like the email that was just sent in, doesn't it? How lovely is that? £15.99. Okay, I've got other little bits and bobs. I've got char copy paper. Now, this is the same. If you're a dressmaker, This is like a top quality tracing paper. But you know how normally, it's like, the one I grew up using was like carbon paper. This is much, much more high-end, I'd say. Blue, green, red, white, and yellow you get in there. Sheet of each, £4.75. So you can either use it with your Hera marker, or you can use it with your tracing wheel. If you're doing dressmaking, use your tracing wheel on this one. £4.75. Or if you want those trio pens, I don't think we've got it in stock anymore, but if you've got that trio pen, you could use that with the paper as well. And then the Hera marker here. Now, in the olden days, this would have been made out of bone, wouldn't it? Yeah. Ours is plastic, obviously. Or resin maybe. But it's definitely not bone, so don't worry. Would it work? Would it mark the fabric if you used a wood one? I don't know if a wood one would work, would it?
It's about the shine.
Oh, it's about the shine. Yeah, there you go. £5.99. Okay. Oh, and the needles. You get 4. Now, every time we bring needles, they sell out. You get 4 different sizes, 2 of each size. Pack of 8 Sashiko needles, to say 4 different sizes. Now, if you look, the eyes look much bigger than they do on a normal sewing needle. Now, is the whole needle gold, or is it just my eyes? Is it the top that's gold? Just the top that's gold. Nickel plated. Well, all needles. Yeah, okay then. So they're nickel plated, which all needles are, and then this is gold plated. The eye, just the eye at the top. Real gold plating, pure gold plating. Blimey. £4.99. But look, while we're close, look, there you can see all the different size eyes. So as Jennifer said, if you're just going to use 1 strand or 2 strands, you could use that. And then look at the size of the eye on that one, so you could use the whole bundle. Lots of those in baskets. £4.99. Right, okay, let's get back. Well, oh, you've nearly finished.
Nearly done it. Which is a good time, actually, because I can show you how to cast off. So I'm just finishing my last bits now. Okay, so another couple of bits that you need to remember when you're doing your sashiko. You're not quilting, so these fabrics shouldn't be puckering the fabric at all.
Right.
So when you're doing your links, if you like, it's worth just giving a little bit of ease, a little bag in the back, and that way, if you go back to the purpose of what you're using your sashiko for, would be to repair. So if your stitches are too tight, what's going to happen is your fabric's not going to give, it's going to snap, so your repair's not going to last. But by giving those little ease stitches where you've had to jump from one section to another, just allows the fabric to move and the stitches to breathe.
Of course.
So that would be one of my top tips for that. And then the last thing we need to do is to show you how to cast off. So how I do it is I take my thread, needle, I take it through my last stitch, okay, to create a loop. So I'm passing my needle back through that loop. So I've not pulled anything yet. So it's this one that I'm going to pull tight. So I'm just going to put that again, back through the loop. Yeah. Like so. So before you pull it tight, make sure you're holding the last stitches down, because again, talking about all that ease, if you start pulling your thread, you're just going to lose all your ease stitching. So I'm just going to toggle that backwards and forwards, and then that creates like a sort of slip knot around the threads, and then you can cut it off. So that's how I finish off my thread. So you've got nice big fat knots in the end, that's fine, that's sashi, yes.
Right.
And then you've got your design on the front.
So if you're doing a big pattern, and you see that you're running out of thread when you can you stop halfway through a line, or do you want to go to the end if you can to knot off?
You can. For me, it's about wastage. So if you know that you've got enough thread to go as far as you can, just make sure you've got enough to tie off at the end. Yes. So starting and stopping at a midpoint, I don't have a problem with it, because you're using all of your thread up. And
also, when you do cross stitch and things, you can. So it wouldn't happen so much on this pattern, but some patterns you need to jump, don't you? Would you ever jump? From a flower to the edge of a flower?
Yep. So if I bring in my hemp leaf one. This is a really good example, actually. So again, with the sashiko, you'd work in lines. So you'd probably do this line first, then that line there. So when you come to this section here where it's kind of holes, and you would jump that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah? So you'd go stitch here and you'd stitch there, then you'd probably stitch the other side, and so on and so forth. So when you come to the vertical ones, so here you'd come in and you would literally jump the whole thing and then start again. Same again here, you'd start, jump.
So when you say jump, you just leave it loose on the back?
Yeah, so on the back, so obviously this is the front, on the back you'd have a big sagging
and it's got to be sagging.
Yeah, not massively sagging. You don't want your stitches to be super loose, but not tight because we don't want that puckering. So these ones here, this one, this one, this one, and this one would all be jumping into that section. You wouldn't stitch that little stitch there because that's a different line altogether. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah. You wouldn't go there to halfway and then there because that's part of that line, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So if I just quickly, so I'm going to do it the wrong way. So this is from the wrong side. Yeah. Which is going to be really hard. So I'm going to be stitching.
It's against everything your brain's
telling you to do. Where the pen mark is, the stitch is on the other side. So this is the back side.
This is the back, yeah.
So I've done that stitch. So here I would jump.
Yeah. So how do you know how loose to make the jump?
So what you'd want to do, so for instance, I can see straight away that's too tight.
Yes.
Okay, so you just want the smallest amount.
So just waggle it a little bit.
Just wiggle it a little bit, that's all. Not too much. So you don't want it like that, that's too much.
Yes.
If you can get your hand under there, that's going to break it anyway.
Yes, because I suppose eventually it'll move and all those stitches will become loose,
exactly. So it just needs to be a little bit of an ease, that's all. Yeah. And that would be enough to just to give it the movement that it requires to breathe in the fabric. So again, there's the little loop there. Yeah. I'm going to cast off the back here. So again, I'm going through my back last stitch. I'm looping, taking that through. So that's one. Going back through that same stitch, going back through that loop, and again, just holding that while I toggle. So you can see there that I've not lost my ease. It's still there. Yeah. And that's nice and safe now. So if I just cut that off, so remember this is the back side. This is not what it would look like at the front.
No.
So if I just flip that over, hopefully you'll be able to see the white stitching on that cream. So you can see there I've got my stitches and then I haven't got that loop on the front.
Fantastic. Right, I've got some messages, got some emails. Have a look at Marilyn's first of all. Here we go. Here is my first attempt at doing Sashiko. Saw your programme, ordered the kit, really enjoyed it. It's very relaxing and therapeutic. Enjoying the demo. Oh, it's cute, isn't it? Look, the
that's
little
one
owl.
of our templates. It's
is it?
Yeah, it's one of the owl templates.
Oh.
Did you use the silver threads?
I haven't done silver threads to that one. Oh, missed out on that one. Moving on to the next one. Thank you, Marilyn. Georgie. Oh.
Wow.
Hello, J&J. This is just a fun attempt on Sashiko on an old blazer.
Love it.
Love doing it. Oh, look, have you not finished the butterfly side yet? You're halfway through it. Oh.
I love it. I love the use of colour. This is a great example where don't be afraid to get the coloured threads out. That looks fab.
Do you know what? That's like a pearly queen jacket. Pink pearly queen. Oh, that's gorgeous,
that is
Georgina.
Lovely. Well done.
It's just an old, looks like an old denim-y kind of blazer. Well, not old. It's just, well, she's put old, yeah. It's nice, isn't it?
That's lovely.
I love the way you've gone round the armholes as well. You know, so not even doing a Sashiko pattern, just using the Sashiko stitches.
Yeah, just doing a plain running stitch. It
fabulous.
Looks lovely. Well done.
Is that the last one? Oh, that's it. Okay, right.
Great stuff.
So, we've had such a busy hour.
I know, yeah.
Everything's sold out. So what have I got left? I've got the fabric, the starter kit, and the book. And that's it, really, isn't it? Shall we have a quick look through the book, then? Sorry about this. Any questions? Actually, do you know what? We've got about 5 minutes. Just any questions you got for Jenniffer, now's the time to get them in, because we've done everything we need to do. I was just going to look for... Because I love the history of everything, but there was something I saw when we were flicking through earlier. I thought, I must ask Jenniffer about that. Stitches like snow. Is that a design?
No, I think it's the little stitch, because the running stitch the way they are, they should be quite little, so they should either look like snow or like little rice.
Oh, but look at this. They're getting started here. Every single thing you need to know. Now, can you use normal embroidery thread, or do you have to have something special?
No, you can use normal embroidery. I mean, you can get specific Sashiko thread.
Yes.
But I like using all different types of threads. So whether it's just your normal skeins like this, which you can separate. I like these ones because you can separate them down, so you can go big or go home, or you can go super tinky tiny by breaking it down to just using one thread.
Oh, now that would be really fine.
That would be very fine, delicate.
But do you make the stitches the same size, even? So the stitch is the same size, but it's the...
No. So the bigger the thread, the bigger the stitch. The finer the thread, the smaller the stitch.
Oh, so if you've got you're drawing up your own design...
Yeah.
Because you haven't done the template, you just follow the lines of things and do lots of tiny
So
stitches.
with the templates, what I would probably do, if you're going with your 4-inch ones, I would probably be inclined to maybe break your skeins down to half, so about 3.
Yeah.
And then if with your larger one, which is your hemp leaf one, go full bore on that one, I think. Just put all 6 in.
But that colourful design that we showed in there, that looked like they'd use some really thick.
Yes.
Would you ever? I know this is 6. Is this still a 6 strand? Right?
Yeah.
Would you? And you're only going single. Would you ever do double? Would you ever say it was 12?
You could do. I mean, we've had the pearlised ones before, which you can't separate, and you've got to go full bore on those, and they give a wonderful result, which is almost kind of like what you're getting at with the double thread.
So it's up to you.
It's all about playing, and that's what I really like about the needles, because you've got different sizes in there, so you can play around with your stitches and get to play with it. But I mean, what's great about the needle, again, if I just put the red thread on, so you can really see it, is when you're stitching, you can really see what you're doing before you commit with your thread. So you can see, I can see the stitches on there. I can see that one's bigger and that one's finer. So I can go, actually, I've done that wrong, move that out and repair what I'm doing before I commit through on thread. So this is where, if you're, the templates take all of that out for you, but if you haven't got the templates, you still want that consistency, these are where the needles really come into play.
Exactly.
And also, they're not like normal needles, they're really super strong, they don't bend.
Oh, because I used to find with normal sewing needles, my hands get so hot. When you're doing a lot of hand stitching, the needle bends
on these, whereas these don't. So you can use your sort of embroidery or almost tapestry needles if you wanted to, but eventually they'll start bending because you are working that fabric onto the needle, not necessarily the needle through the fabric.
Because normally, you go like that, but you're actually
working it through that way.
Fantastic, you're brilliant at this. Hour's time?
Yes.
Making that lovely, it's behind you over there, that like gilet jacket.
Gilet with a bit of kanzashi flower, so we're taking it over to the dressmaking.
Now, little Paul says he's got some information that we haven't known. The boiled wool.
Yes.
Might be or is. I'm not going to tell you. Keep watching, right? Keep watching. Because if you've always wanted some boiled wool from us, and you've gone, oh, it's just stretching my budget a little bit.
Wait.
Wait and see. Right, thanks, Jenniffer. See you in an hour.
Bye.
See you now. We'll go back and do Sashiko. Okay. Fabric bundle, fabric bundle, fabric bundle. You are going completely crazy for this. 1/2 metre of each fabric. You get 1/2 metre of the navy, 1/2 metre of the azure, 1/2 metre of the ivory. £9.49. Lots of people multiply. Oh, now, if you're multi-buying this, it will all still come in 1/2 metre pieces. It's not like buying off the roll. So if you buy 2 of those, 2 bundles, you will get 2 pieces of navy at 1/2 metre, 2 pieces of azure at 1/2 metre, and 2 pieces of the ivory in a 1/2 metre. They don't come joined together when you buy them in a bundle like this. It's just the way the cutting system works. Right, so that bundle there, we've done that, right, okay. Sashiko Starter Kit is here. Very, very popular. If you have a look, so in this bundle, £39.99, you get the book. You get the 2 1/2 metres of fabric. Now, this one you don't get ivory. I think that's ecru plus the dark blue. You get the 2 threads. You get the Hera marker. You get the needles, and you get the chalk copy paper for £39.99. There's the whole bundle. If you want the book by itself, you can, but please make sure you check out your baskets. Discover Sashiko, the traditional craft of Japanese country quilting, it's called. £15.99, that book, and we flicked through it earlier by Susan Briscoe. It is the most gorgeous book. Not only does it have the history, not only does it have how to do the stitches, it also has little projects in there of things you might want to make, like coasters and wall hangings and just little bits of gorgeousness. Okay, I've also got needles for sale. Very popular. Sashiko needles. You've got 8 in there, 4 different types, 2 of each type. £4.99. 8 needles in there. Remember, they're nickel plated, but they're gold plating around the eye, the eclipse eye or something. It's called elliptical eye. Copy paper. This is lovely. I would now use this as if you're a dressmaker. I'd get this instead of carbon paper if you've got a tracing wheel, because I love the colours. I love the colours, £4.75. I love the colours, but it also doesn't stay on all your fingers. You know, like carbon paper gets on your fingers and gets everywhere. £4.75. Oh, Maisie sent in a nice message. Loving the show while drinking a cup of tea. So much inspiration. Thank you, Maisie, my love. I've got this as well. Have I got time? Yeah, there you go. Hair marker. Hair marker. Beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely, thank you. £5.99. Then you can't go anywhere. This is after the break. And we've got 2 more unicorns in gold and silver. I will see you in 3 minutes from now.
Follow us on Pinterest. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to discover sewing work we create and love.
Tune in on Friday the 1st of June at 11 a.m. where we'll be stocking the new Elna Experience 550, 560 and 570 sewing machines. With up to 50 stitch combinations and 15 variable needle positions, these machines are perfect if you love easy, speedy sewing. These all-round machines will handle an array of different fabrics with ease, ensuring you get all of the enjoyment out of your next project. So tune in on Friday the 1st of June from our brand new time of 9 a.m, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 687.
Join us on Wednesday, the 30th of May for 2 hours with dressmaking guru Jenny Smith. At 8 a.m, it's the return of Jenny's popular Hepworth pinafore pattern. Then at 10 a.m, Jenny debuts her brand new pattern. The Riley Collection top and dress pattern is perfect for beginners with a gentle introduction to top stitching, bust darts and inseam pockets. All you have to worry about is deciding which fabric to mix and match from. Our hand-picked selection of denims, cottons, chambray and linen. So tune in for stylish, modern dressmaking with Jenny Smith, Wednesday the 30th of May at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 687. Join us on Thursday the 31st of May when designer, teacher and author Carolyn Forster is here to launch her brand new book. The Joy of Jelly Rolls is Carolyn's complete guide to quilting and sewing with jelly rolls, a fabric pre-cut we know you love as much as we do. Carolyn will be in the studio to share projects from the book along with tips and techniques honed from teaching the world over. From clever machine piecing hexagons and intricate folded log cabin to a sleepy tabby cat pillow, Carolyn shows that the possibilities with jelly rolls are endless. In fact, there are 44 designs in the book, including 24 quilts, all in Carolyn's trademark fresh, feminine style. So tune in to help Carolyn celebrate her latest joyous jelly roll book, Thursday the 31st of May at 10 a.m, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 687. Follow us on Instagram. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to get our latest posts. Finally, we can start spreading the news. From Friday the 1st of June, we are going to be changing our hours, and I think you're going to like it. First of all, we're going to be switching on our live on-air light at the slightly later time of 9 a.m. So that gives you an extra hour for breakfast in bed. But even better than that, we are going to be live through until 2 p.m. So that's an extra hour on air live, giving us 5 whole hours of dressmaking, sewing, quilting, 7 days a week. So join us live on air for 5 whole hours from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m, 7 days a week from the 1st of June.
So just to sum up from Natasha's message there, just to sum up, from Friday, the 1st of June, we'll be doing 5 hours on live. Now, it is still only one presenter for the 5 hours. We're not swapping and changing. It's still one presenter for the 5 hours. If you watch us on Sky, you'll watch us live from 9 till 2. Then from 2 right the way through the night, right the way until 9 o'clock the next morning. You watch all the repeats until we come live again the next morning. What happens on Freeview is you watch from 9 till 2 live. Then from 2 till 4, you'll get the first 2 hours of repeat. Then it goes off, obviously. And then the next day, from 8 till 9, you'll get a repeat. And then we'll come live on air at 9 o'clock. I know, 5 hours. Thank you very much indeed. Look. Brand new, brand new, brand new, brand new, brand new. Isn't it lovely? Isn't it just gorgeous? Beautiful. Never had the fabric before. Now, you might think, oh, he looks a bit like... Yes, he is an adaptation, not an adaptation, an adaptation of the unicorn. But I'll tell you more about that later. So, what you get... Come with me, come with me. I've got one bundle for the zebra. That's it. Right, ready? How many have I got? Is that all? Okay, now I need to warn you. Yesterday we did a panda. The amount of these that I've got today will have sold out in about 4 minutes. Will have sold out, so please, if you want it, now make sure you check out straight away. Make sure you check out straight away. What you get in your bundle is you get your ½ metre of zebra. Oh, I love this. ½ metre of zebra. Look. Look. Now, I'd have some furniture, like a poof or something like that made as that. It's lovely, isn't it? I let something slip the other day as well that I was sure it wasn't supposed to. We've also got this fabric in other animal prints that's coming later. I'm not supposed to tell you that. So anyway, you get ½ metre of the zebra. Okay. Okay, if all of you are on the phone line now or on the web now, half of them have gone. Like that. Like that. Right, okay, so you get ½ metre of your zebra. You get 1 square of felt in black, 1 square of felt in white. You get black embroidery thread. You get silver thread, instructions, and you get the toy filling. Now, the next thing is there's enough for 2 in there, but not enough felt to make 2. So what you can do is you can definitely make 1, obviously. There's enough zebra to do another one, but you need more felt if you're going to do a second one, that's all. Right, now, what I need to explain to you is the pattern, because you're all going, wrong pattern, wrong pattern, wrong pattern. It's not the wrong pattern at all, because if you think about it, you get 2 for the price of 1 in here. So you get the pattern for the unicorn. I don't know why I did that then. You get the pattern for the unicorn, but inside, you also get this, right? Which is what you need to adapt the pattern for the unicorn to make the zebra. So if you just had this, right? This, you could make a unicorn, right? But then having this sheet of paper is the adaptation to make it into the zebra. Right, 9 new buyers on the phone line straight away. 9 new buyers, that is. New buyers, new buyers. I'm not going to tell you to keep checking out because it's up to you now. It's up to you to check out if you want it. Right, talking of unicorns, now if you've never seen a unicorn, this is what our unicorn looks like, Joe's unicorn looks like. Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful, isn't it? Now, we've got a bundle with a difference today, a special edition it is. Right, so let me just put that one away. This one here, so you get the ½ metre of the white fleece to make the body. You get 2 pieces of blue felt to make the mane, but then you get this gorgeous gold fabric to make the hoofs and the unicorn's horn. Plus you get the thread, plus you get the instructions, plus you get 2 embroidery threads, $19.99. I'm presuming you get and you get the wadding, and you get the padding, obviously. Well, now there's enough in there to make. Oh, did we say there was nothing there to make 2? Yes, nothing there. There's not enough stuffing to make 2. You need to get some stuffing elsewhere. But you better make 2 out of that. You better make 2 out of that. So that's the gold and blue one. Gold and blue unicorn, or blue and gold. Now I've also got this one, which I think, I have to say, I think will be the winner. But who knows? Who knows? We always get it wrong, don't we? Oh, okay, this is the most limited as well. This is the most limited. So you get ½ metre of the fleece. You get the lilac felt for the mane and the tail. And look, you get the silver for the hoofs and for the horn. You also get the instructions, the thread, and two, what do they call, skeins of embroidery thread there. £19.99. Yeah, this one has blue and pink in it. Oh, as the picture. Okay. Okay, right, I'm gonna, shall we move? Okay, what if I just put that? I've done, oh, okay. So you get the pink and the black thread, the lilac, the silver, the white fleece, the instructions, watch what you're doing, breathing down your microphone, and then the stuffing as well. Okay, £19.99, right? Let's go and do it, Oh, I haven't got to, I just need, I'll just put that there, like that, there you go. Okay.
I'm absolutely prepared.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Right, okay, so just talk us through what's the difference between the unicorn and the zebra then? Because it's obviously the same body shape, isn't it?
It is. All that's changed is I've taken the horn out and just made it into a dart at the top of his head.
Right.
Here. And also the mane, because a zebra has a shorter mane.
Right.
I've shortened the mane and the fringe bits.
Okay.
And also I've put a white layer in between the two.
A black and white mane, and the black and white tail as well. And then also, aren't the hoofs slightly different?
Black side or top hoof and white on the bottom.
Yes, because normally that we do all of that. Don't we all do that the same colour normally?
Yes.
It's like on the unicorns, that's all the same colour, isn't it? Isn't it gorgeous? Flying out, please, 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 please. Right, let's make one then.
Okay. Right, these are the.
So this is the new pattern piece that comes in the pattern for the top of the head.
Yes.
We love this fabric. We just love this fabric.
It's really nice to work with as well.
It's what?
It's really nice to work with.
I have to say, when I saw it in the hang on, I'll just wait for them to stop chatting. When I saw it in the warehouse, it reminded me of a coat that Hugh Bonneville had when we were filming Notting Hill. He used to come to work every morning, but it was like a Frisian cow pattern.
Yeah.
But he wore a full coat made of this fabric, lined with this fabric. And I thought, when I saw this, because it's not your normal fabric, so if you've made our Joe's toys before, it's usually we just go, oh, it's very fluffy, it's very, be careful. This is so stable, isn't it? This fabric.
It's really nice.
It's really lovely to work with. And I've asked them to get it in by the half metre as well, because I think you're going to love that by the half metre. You make gorgeous jackets or little mini skirt outfit, anything like that. It's very exciting. Oh, little Paul's thinking of? Oh, beanbag. Oh, Paul.
Are you not impressed?
No.
No. The first step with the mane.
Okay, sorry, Joe. If everyone checks out their baskets now, it's sold out. I told you. I said 8 minutes, didn't I? It's 9 minutes. There's still ones waiting to check out. If you've got it in your basket and you haven't checked out, and someone else comes in, puts it in their basket and checks out, they'll take it. Yeah, loads of new buyers coming in. Lots of new buyers coming in. Right, okay.
Okay, for the mane and the tail and the fringe, these are the tail pieces.
Yeah.
And I've stitched around the edges. It stops them being pulled and stretched. It's a nice bit of detail, but also supports.
It's for practicality as well.
It is practical as well.
Is it just stitched in?
Just a regular
normal
running stitch on.
In the normal thread and everything?
Yes. I just use opposite
I don't
colours to give it a bit
understand what
more.
the silver thread's for then.
Nostrils. It's got some sparkly nostrils.
Oh, yes, okay.
The easiest way to do this is to draw it on. You can see my lines there, possibly.
Yeah.
I've used Taylor's chalk. Draw it on, stitch around them using the lines as a guide, and then once it's done, snipping.
Okay, I don't snip until you've sewn.
Right. It's so fiddly if they're already snipped.
The graphics for the zebra have now disappeared because they've sold out. We now have the unicorns. The blue and gold is your main one, and are you going to put the pink, the lilac and silver across the bottom? Yeah, there you go. Right, we'll just carry on with the sewing now.
And this technique with the mane is the same for the unicorn as well.
Yes, but the mane on the unicorn is longer.
It is longer.
And I seem to remember, right at the beginning, was it a unicorn? Was it this one?
With the stitching, the hand stitching.
You did hand stitching using variegated embroidery thread as well. Now,
Yes.
now, on the unicorn, this one's only got one main. Has that one got two? Were you just a bit lazy when we did it the first time?
No, I did that one.
Oh, no, there it is.
It's got 3, but I made the mistake. I thought, I'll see what it's like with double thickness felt for each one, and it's a nightmare.
Oh, okay.
So don't do that. Just
Okay.
leave it the one layer. You can
Okay.
hand stitch,
You can still hand stitch the edges.
but
though,
yes,
couldn't you?
don't, because I'm sewing 3 layers of
Double.
double, so 6 layers
Yeah.
of felt into a seam was
Okay.
possible but challenging.
Yeah.
So I'll just snip these and then put them to one side.
That's the tail now, is it? You're
That's
cutting
the
up there?
tail. So I've done 2 in black and 1 in white, just to give it a little bit
For the
of
tail now.
sort of checkerboardy variation. They're all done.
And what are those? What are those 2 bits there?
These are his fringe.
Oh, okay, the front of the...
So go there.
The Joe cut a fringe.
Okay, start with an ear. The ear does have that fold in the front, so the front ear is wider,
So don't be panicking that
Then the
your
back
2 ears
ear.
don't fit together.
but this edge is the same length.
Right.
So I find it easiest with the smaller piece on top and to pivot that one round.
Now, is there a grain to this zebra fabric?
Yes, there is.
So you need to
got
follow the grain of the fabric.
Lay it out. And
Actually, you can see it.
you can see it, but that
it's-
way is the wrong way.
Yeah,
so
so
lay
you've
it
got
out.
grain and you've got a nap as well. So you need to have all your panels going in the same direction, basically, don't you?
Yes, and on the templates there's arrows
Okay,
for pile direction.
brilliant.
Oh, I've lost the pedal. There we go. But it's a really nice weight, this fabric. It's got a little bit of stretch to it, but not enough to make it difficult to work with. If you're going to do a first toy, this sort of fabric's brilliant.
Zebras are totally sold out. Sorry. If you're watching the repeat, I do apologise. I'll get the binder. And should we get Harriet onto it straight away? Is she in today? Oh, I think they've switched me off.
No.
Oh, no, they're here now. They're back now.
So I've pivoted,
Harriet, to see if we can reorder it.
so I've pivoted at the top with my needle down to twist it round for the other side. There we go. And then just clip away.
Yeah, now you do have to clip with this fabric because on the jersey fabrics, you don't have to clip in or anything like that really, because it's quite squidgy. Whereas this, you do need to. Will you snip into the curves as well, or is it stretchy enough? Oh,
I'd leave the curves.
Okay.
Oh, I did this one in white, so it doesn't show up as well. My pre-prepared one was
yeah. I
a
thought
different
you'd
thread.
be doing it in pink like you were yesterday.
I thought the black would show up on. Well, we'll see. It looks okay. It shows up, doesn't it? Oh, thanks, Derek.
Derek the Dobber's back.
Derek Mark II, is it? This
Well,
one?
yes, we can't. No, not Derek Marks. We couldn't find Derek. Take one.
Oh.
It's gone. Disappeared somewhere. Yeah, I think Jess. When Jess is in next, I'm going to go through Jess's.
Oh, is she quite? She.
I think she goes like this at the end of the show. She just goes like this and puts everything in her bag like that.
I might start doing that.
She must be in soon because I've seen some of her pre-makes already in the room next door. So she must be in again soon.
There we go. And the front will loop up because it's wider.
Yes.
So just make a fold in it so it's the same width as the back of the ear.
But you have to make the folds go in different directions.
In
yeah.
this one, the fold would go that way. So they have to be mirror images.
Yes.
So that they'd go that way round, wouldn't they, on the zebra?
Yeah.
Does that show? I've
Does it
scuffed
make
all
that
my
much-
nail
Oh, yes,
varnish.
yes, it would make a difference. Yeah. There were so many, when I came pelting through the village this morning, there were so many of those little okapi, no unicorns in the village this year. Okapi, are they, no, not they're called okapis, that's not okapi, they're in Africa, aren't they, okapis? What are they called, those little, I want to say ramekins, but that's a bowl, isn't it? I'll think of it anyway, but they're little, not the deers with the white spots on, we've got some of those baby deers, but these are like, not munchkin.
Muntjac one.
Muntjac, that's it, muntjacks. There were so many of them out today, I can't tell you. But they, apparently, when they get, you have to go really slowly past them, because they get frightened and they jump on your bonnet. And if they jump on your bonnet, they can dent. They're so heavy.
Oh, I
they
bet,
dent
with the little-
They dent your bonnet smash your windscreen, so you have to be really careful with them.
There we go, and I've basted the fold in place, so those are the ears done.
Perfect. Who's coming up the stairs? Oh.
Right, so I'm going to join the side face pieces now to the central face.
Okay.
And they join all the way around here like that. And it's a good idea, pin it if you feel more comfortable pinning it. I'm just going to sew it because of the speed.
Okay.
And it's often easier to have the middle face on top, but I like it this. I'm used to doing it this way round, but it's not necessarily the easiest way.
Well, let's watch you do it then.
I hope it fits now. But they can, muntjac ears, they can decimate gardens, can't they? They're quite...
Muntjacs, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know where all the sheep have gone, either in the back field. Behind my house, there's normally sheep in the field, and there's been no sheep in there for a couple of weeks, so the grass is nearly as high as the fence now. Got a family of foxes in there as well. And do you know sheep? When the sheep see foxes come in, they start shouting and they all stand really, really still. I'd never seen it before. So when there's a fox comes into the field, the sheep that see it start going, "There's a fox! There's a fox!" like that, right? And they all stand like this. They like, don't move, but they all start shouting, "Fox, fox!" Well, I think that's what they're saying. "There's a fox, there's a fox, there's a fox," until the fox gets so frightened it runs off.
So,
It's countryside living.
Well, I'm...
You won't get that in your inner city, you know.
No.
What were you going to say?
I've forgotten.
Oh dear.
It'll come back to me in a minute.
Yeah, tomorrow when you're at home. What's the matter, little Paul? If you've got any questions about any of Joe's toys, get them in now. Get them in now so Joe can answer them during this hour.
Oh, does foxes see movement then? Is that why they keep still? Is that the sort of sheep's thinking?
I don't know. But they instinctively seem to know to do it. Like the babies and everything. They all just stand... And the noise is phenomenal. When there's like 100 sheep in the field, it's really, really loud.
We get squirrels near us, but they're really just rats in a better jacket, aren't they?
I see less foxes in the countryside than I did when I lived in London.
Really?
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so I've stitched that onto one side, and I've checked that the seam allowance is nice and even throughout.
Yeah.
And then do the other side.
Okay.
But I'll go the
So
opposite
if
direction.
somebody's making the unicorn, is it almost exactly the same? Because obviously in the unicorn there's the horn in that front section, but the rest of the construction is more or less the same as we're doing now.
It is.
Yeah.
The unicorn is more difficult in that it has the horn in, but then when you come to stitch the head on and close the back of the head later, because you've got that open horn, it's easier to stitch, whereas there's not quite as much room with the zebra, but it's not difficult.
Have we got the date? Have we got the date for the unicorn? We'll get it for you. Can we ask the office then instead? What do you want to update me on? The zebra? Oh, 2 people have dropped them out the basket, so there are now 2 available. 2 zebras available. Right. So if you've either got it in your basket, there are now 2 available to check out, or if you want to put it in your basket, you can check out. Only 2 though, only 2.
So I'm just doing a few stitches and pausing and just readjusting the fabric. I find that the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, because it does look like it's going to be quite a severe curve to go round that one, doesn't it?
It is quite a fiddly piece, but actually pinning does... I've done it with pinned it, and that makes it a lot easier as well. But I'm not doing that now because...
Yeah. Unicorn was done on the 25th of January, apparently, at 10 o'clock. Check it out on Unicorn. Or it was on the 20th of March, also at 10 o'clock. Thank you, little Paul.
There we go. So that's the face
put
together.
Okay. Yeah.
And then there's little cheek darts here. So I'll close each of those, but I'm going to leave the one in the middle of the head open. So just the cheek ones at this point.
Yeah.
But this sort of fabrics, I find they've all gone now, haven't they, really? So
Yes.
maybe I should, yeah, sorry. But it is, it's really nice to work with.
We'll get it again. I promise you we'll get it again.
There we go. And the last thing I'm going to do now, before I put the face to one side, is I'm going to baste the ears on. And they go in between this dart here. It's not this dart, sorry. This seam here. And there'll be a marker on the pattern.
Okay. Did you get the eyes in the zebra? There were no eyes on the table, were there? I just need to check that they got the eyes in the zebra. Because I didn't have any eyes on the table.
Oh, have I used plastic eyes and it's embroidered ones?
Yeah, it might be. They're embroidered eyes. Oh,
Sorry.
yes, because look, because the unicorn's got embroidered eyes as well. But if you've bought any of Joe's other animals, like yesterday, for example, the panda had 6 eyes in it, didn't it? So you could put the plastic eyes in if you've already got them. They're not available in the kit. Sorry, I just looked at it thinking, oh.
And also, embroidered eyes are safer for children under 3.
Of course,
and really small children respond really well to black and white.
Yes, do you know why? Because they only see black and white when they're born.
Do they?
Hannah told me that, and I was like, don't be so stupid. It's a fact. They see black and white, and then they see red. Red's the next colour after that.
Oh, I'm
talking about children, though, not animals.
Hannah's other fact about the cow, you can't climb downstairs, can it?
Cows can't go downstairs, no.
I find myself thinking about that a lot now.
She thinks it's safe, so if she's ever chased by a cow, she's going to run upstairs, let the cow run after her, then she's going to run downstairs, and the cow won't be able to come down.
Problem solved, yeah. Right, so I've basted the ears on, and now I'm going to baste the fringe pieces.
Before the dart goes. Is that a dart there?
That's a dart.
But do you put the fringes on before the dart?
Yes, and they should be far enough away. It's a generous seam allowance so that they don't get caught in that dart. But if they do a bit, it will just sort of bring them together.
Up a little bit more,
It'll look quite cute.
Yeah, there's somebody shouting in there, isn't there? No, this isn't a meeting. This is proper shouting. No, I'm listening. I've just got to go and do... While you don't do anything else but the fringe, I've just got to go to set 2, Paul says.
OK.
OK, unicorn. No, don't need it now because I've got the bundle set. Right, so you get 1/2 metre of the white fleece. You get 2 sheets of the blue felt. You get 1/2 metre of the gold lame stretch. You get silver thread, black thread, white thread, instructions and stuffing. Can you hear them? £19.99. That's fine, doesn't matter, it's not bothering me. I just want to know what they're saying. Because it's got that tinge to it, like they're angry, do you know what I mean? Oh, you want to do that now? I was going to announce it in a second, but I'll do it now if you want. No, too good. See this? It's Kylie's 50th birthday today. By the 1/2 metre. You can buy this by the 1/2 metre, the Emperor foil fabric. Now, there's rules. I think you've got them on the crystal upstairs. You can't wash it. And you've got it written up there. You can only dab it with a damp cloth. Yeah, £2.99 for 1/2 metre. £2.99 for 1/2 metre. Now, have you got something else written upstairs? I think there's something about the backing. It's 100% viscose on 135 centimetres wide. I'm sure there was something else about... No, you can't wash it. You can't wash it. You can't wash it. Where did Hannah get that from, then? It was something you can't wash it, you can't dry clean it, but you can only wipe it down with a damp cloth. That's by the 1/2 metre. OK, people have been asking, so Paul's done it for you. And then the other kit here. So you get I told you this would be the most popular, didn't I? 1/2 metre. 1/2 metre of the white fleece, the 2 lilac felt squares. You get the silver fabric for the hoofs and the horn. You get the pink and the black thread. And you get the instructions. £19. And the stuffing. And the stuffing, £19.99. Silver by the 1/2 metre. You want it. We've got it. So this, that was Kylie when she did whatever song it was, she wore the black ones. Look, very limited. Very, very limited, this one. Emperor 4 fabric, £2.99 for half a metre. It will sell out today. So make a space suit out of it. You could, when I played Oberon in Midsummer Night's Dream, I had a cat suit made out of it. Yes. In fact, I had a blue wig like this, like that. Oh, I haven't got the blue unicorn. Like, I had a blue wig and a cat suit made out of this. Oh. And I was only young. I could carry it off in those days. £2.99, that by half a metre. I'm going back now. What are you doing? I said not to do anything else.
I know, this is here's one I made earlier, here's one I've not quite finished earlier.
Oh, OK. So here, I'll show you this then. This is what Jo just did. She sewed the two, what's the matter? 2 fringes, and then there's a dart in there, which will be done in a second.
I'll stop that one.
OK.
Sorry.
Right. So you put the head to one side now. So you've got the ears and the fringe on, and you put that to one side.
So that's it for the head. For now?
Yeah, for now. What's that?
This is its side body.
Oh, yes, I can
And
see.
the back of the head is here. So we have a stomach piece. Move these bits out of the way. And then this is a front leg.
So there's that's this. So that section there is this section here.
Is that section there?
Okay. That section there is this section here.
Yes.
And then what's you've got another piece there. Are they legs? No.
These are the inside legs.
Inside of the leg, right?
So the easiest way I find to put the legs on is to have a V shape, and then you can pause with the needle down at the corner.
Yeah.
And pivot.
Pivot, yeah.
And it just makes it easier. These are the inside legs, so we want to sew them around here like this.
Right.
So when they're on, they'll be forward.
Yes.
But it does look, they are odd looking shapes. And these are
But that one looks like it's going to fit on quite easily. And then this one here, does that one go in there then, like a princess seam like that?
Yes, and it fits in.
Oops. Like that.
It looks more tricky to sew in than it is, because it, again, pivots at that point, and you can just readjust quite easily.
Yeah. Had an email in. Oh, Jess has emailed in.
Morning, Jess.
She says, no, I don't think... She says, I don't nick stuff from the studio. No, just the fabrics from next door. No, I didn't mean you'd nicked it. I thought you meant you'd gone like that with all your kit and it had gone in your bag. She says, it calls me cheeky, but she loves your zebra.
Oh, thank you.
And when is she next then, did she say? OK, I'll go to her. She's got a lovely house. I'm going to go around to her house. She's had some work done around the house, so I'll go and have a look around the house.
So, pivoting there.
Yeah.
Spin this round. I'll just do one side because it's a bit tricky, especially with this fabric, to see what's happening. So if I just work on one side of the body. So that's the inside top leg on. I'll move these ones out of the way. And the lower leg needs to go around here now. So I'm going to pinch this.
Hang on. So that's the upper leg, did you say? And you're going to now put that one on there.
The lower leg.
The city down leg.
This point here corresponds with this one here.
Oh, OK.
So we need to press these seams, finger press it open.
I wonder if you can iron this fabric.
Oh, I wouldn't want to chance it.
Well, no, I'm thinking about if we're making a jacket out of it or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Although it's the sort of fabric, if you hung it up while you're having a shower, it's steam.
Yes,
it'd just drop out, wouldn't it?
Yeah, little Paul says you're going to wear it in the shower.
So I'm just lining these edges up until I get to the corner. I'll pause there with the needle down and sew this bit. And if you wanted to mark the pivot points on with the erasable pen, that would make it easier.
I know why it's so noisy, because bank holiday, they all had the day off yesterday, didn't they? Not like... Well, you did as well, little Paul. Whereas me and Joe, we were working, weren't we?
Yeah, we were slaving away.
No.
There we go. So it looks a bit awkward. It doesn't particularly lie flat, but those are the legs in position on the side of the body. Now, this is the side of the body it corresponds with.
Right.
And we need to add the outside of the upper leg to this one.
Yeah.
And this is one of those. If I could have made this all one piece, I would have done, but unfortunately they overlap.
Oh, by a tiny bit.
Yeah. So on this side, there's a marker. I'll just highlight it here. There it is. And I want to sew this curve. So from here, drawing the seam allowances. I want to sew it around this curve here and finish here at this point.
Right.
And this is the point where the top of the bottom leg as well finishes.
The top of the bottom leg?
The top of the bottom leg. Shall
Yeah.
I, if I get this one, will it make it more... See, they both finish at this point here.
Right.
That's the bottom leg. And that's the upper leg, and they finish on this side of the body.
Okay.
So I'm going to sew this curve now, this section here.
Right. So you just do that section on its own?
Yes. And with this, if it was cotton, you'd need to clip in here, but actually you
Yes.
can get away with it with this fabric.
Oh, and the reason you're stitching that is because in an ideal world, this is the bit that would have been in the one panel, but because it overlaps, you can't.
Yeah.
Got it now. There must be a way you could do it.
There is, but it has to sit in a different position. It has to be sort of slightly more
No.
reclined.
I'll let you do
and-
that. And then I was going to have a look.
I'm just folding this curve around, and I'll check it's going to finish in the right place. Because if it's coming up a bit short, just give it a little bit of a...
Tug.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay. Could you not? No. No, you couldn't.
If I flattened off, if this leg was less shaped,
Yes.
you could get away with it.
I was thinking of, because I was thinking of a pattern piece, I'd split it there and open it there, but
And then-
it wouldn't work. You're the expert. I don't know why I'm trying to chuck in my 2 pence. What do I know?
Well, just after you said I'm the expert yesterday, that was when...
Yeah, that was
didn't
when
leave.
you burnt the pig's tutu. You made the mistake yesterday. If you are buying the unicorn, they're both very, very, very popular. So please, please, please be careful. You've got it in your basket and you definitely want it. Please check out.
Okay, and now I'm going to sew the front of this leg on the stomach piece. The front of this leg up to the stomach piece here fits all along this leg.
Right. Oh, yes, easy.
Can you see?
Yeah.
It fits.
Even Timothy understands that one.
Oh,
I know. It wasn't a comment, it was a, oh! And yesterday, Ginger Mike suddenly went, oh, I think you could do that free arm quilt. What would you think? Free arm quilting? And he was like going on about all these different techniques. It's left now. It's gone now. After you upset Andy about his dog. Remember Andy showed his lovely new dog and
Yeah.
Mike went, and I said it.
is he not a dog person?
I don't think he's, no. Yesterday we showed a picture of Andy, one of our viewers, his new dog, French bulldog. And I was like, oh, we were going, oh, and Mike went, oh, I think they're overrated me. Something like that.
You can't please everyone.
No, exactly. We can't please Mike at all, really.
There we go.
Righty-ho.
So all the front of that leg
Yeah.
joins to the top of the stomach and the front of that leg.
Yeah.
So let's see if I can make it look. So we've got that front leg now ready for the top of the hoof and the bottom to be
Right,
attached.
okay.
So I'm going to open that out, finger press that seam open, and then this is the top of a hoof.
Oh, it's a real hoof shape.
It is hoofy shaped.
Yeah. If you just tuned in, I'm afraid the zebra has sold out. If you just tuned in now, I'm ever so sorry it's sold out. Even though we're carrying on with the demonstration, it's sold out.
And working with felt makes this much easier. And have the top hoof on top.
Yeah.
I find that's the easiest way to fit this around the curve. Take care not to stretch it, but just make it mirror.
Stretch what? Don't stretch the felt or don't stretch the fabric.
Don't stretch the felt. If it overhangs slightly at the edge, though, just trim it. It's fine. Because it's really difficult to cut the felt precisely because you use chalk and things. does sound a bit slapdash then, just trim.
No, yeah, well, no, I used to do that when I was making skirts in the old days. If one hem was longer than the other, I'd just chop it off. Oh, I thought you wanted it a bit shorter. That was when I was first starting.
There we go. So I've got the top on,
Hoof.
and then the bottom hoof.
Yeah. Hoof.
Hoof, hoof, hoof. I say hoof.
You a hoof?
Yeah.
Hoof. I'd say hoof, I think. But then you say tooth. And I don't say tooth, but little Paul says tooth.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm tooth and hoof.
Toothpaste. Oh, anyway, you're going to stitch that on?
Stitch that on, starting the centre point there, making sure I've got the seam allowance
Open.
left over at the end. And sewing this, using felt to sew these circles on really helps, because you can just tell it what, it doesn't slip and it stays where you want it, really.
Yeah. So it's quite, because it's a circle, Katie, you do have to, this is what we talked about yesterday, about your knee.
Knee lift really
Knee
helps.
lift would be brilliant for this bit.
I might do that when I get home, go and put the knee lift on.
It's not all the millions of other things you've got to do, and you're going to go and put your knee lift on.
Yeah, maybe I should.
Right, you have children to look after today.
Yeah, maybe I should feed those instead.
She's joking, by the way. Who has got them today?
My mum. Helen's got them today.
Helen's got them today. It's half term, you see, isn't it? Yeah, we'll just finish doing the hoof and then I'll go over to September. No, you say hoof. You say toothpaste, you'd say hoof.
Right, the thread is just
Oh,
starting
it's
to
a good
shear,
time to go.
so
The thread's just let's go and do the bundle. So it's not the zebra. I haven't got the zebra. Just the two unicorns, which is a hack. The zebra is a hack from the unicorn. So in this one, you get 1/2 metre of the white fleece. You get the 2 blue squares of felt. You get the black embroidery thread, the silver embroidery thread, the sewing thread, 1/2 metre of the gorgeous gold fabric, and the instructions and the stuffing. £19.99. Very low. It's up to you if you want it. You know what to do. You know what to do if you want it. Okay, and then the silver one. Out of the two, this is the most popular one. You get 1/2 metre of the white fleece. You get 2 lilacs in the felt. You get the silver fabric, 1/2 metre of the silver fabric. You get the thread. Now in this one, you get a black and a pink embroidery thread. And you get the instructions. And you get the, there you go. £19.99. Now there's nothing there to make 2, but there's not enough stuffing to make 2. What? I thought you said you weren't supposed to do it. Oh, what's up? Mixed messages. Gold fabric. Gold, oh, look. Now, isn't that lovely? That's Kylie's hot pants. Gosh, she's 50. She's looking good, isn't she, if I'm 50? I hope I look that good when I'm 50, I tell you. Mind you. No, I'll be 39 next month. Yeah. By the 1/2 metre, £2.99. I think Paul was a magpie in his last life. He loves anything that's sparkly and shiny. And then I've got the silver as well. Now this, you see, last time we did this is what I told you about this. Like Kylie had her hot plates made of gold. When I did Elton John's 50th birthday costume, you know, the one with the big wig and the black, we did 2 sort of, I don't want to say slaves, that's right, 2 attendants, 2 muscly boy attendants in very little costumes made out of this. Over half stock's gone. Over half stock's gone of this at £2.99. Please take advantage, as Paul has broken the rules by bringing this to air. He'll get into so told off afterwards because he wasn't supposed to bring this to air. Which is why I thought we weren't doing this again, because he'd been told off. Okay, right, let's go back then. Oh, got ages, could make 2 in 15 minutes.
Do you think? Well, I've nearly have done 2.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the one. Sorry.
Which is which?
I'm again, trying to catch up with my...
With your
I'll
prep.
move to this one in a minute.
All right, then. So you've just sewn the white felt circle around the bottom of the black felt there to create the bottom of the foot. Okay.
And now I'm going to sew up the back of the front leg. So this seam here.
Oh, it's become the front leg now, not the top leg anymore.
The top leg,
Yeah.
what am I talking?
No, it's all right. The
That
front,
one.
Yeah,
That-
the
that
front
leg.
leg that sticks out like that, the arms, we're going to go up the back of that.
The arm legs,
Yes.
yeah. So I'm going to sew that together up to the top, underneath, up to the armpit.
Oh, lovely.
Just in case anyone was not sure what an armpit was, I pointed to it as well, yeah.
There was a lady on Jeremy Carr. Oh, I hate it yesterday. I got home to watch Jeremy Carr, thinking it was going to be a good one. And it was like one that when they do, he sits in the gallery with a cup of tea and he goes, now, we've had some rough families on this season, haven't we? And then they just do a recap. And it's like, oh, I know all the answers to all this. It's like when you watch Escape to the Country and as soon as you see the people, you're, oh, I know which house they're going to see and I know which one they're going to pick. So there's no point in watching this.
There we go. So I've stitched the back of that leg closed. And now I'm going to rearrange the fabric to bring the top of the leg underneath together. Now, to make this easier, you can clip into this corner here. You don't need to with this fabric. I will do just to show
just
where.
to prove.
Just clip into that seam there, and we want to sew the top of the leg and finish here where these stitches are, because if we go beyond those, it will gather it. It won't lie flat and smooth.
Is that his armpit?
It is its
He'd
armpit.
end up sitting like that then, wouldn't he?
It would, yeah.
It'd be a bit uncomfortable.
All uncomfortable around the armpit.
No, the reason I said about Jeremy Carr is because the girl that was on yesterday took her jumper off and then started to apologise for not shaving her armpits. I'm like, oh, goodness me. What are you talking about? Where was that?
Right, so I'm positioning the side body underneath so it's flat, so I haven't got any folds in or tucks in it.
Yeah.
I'm sewing around here. And they should land. Oh, they did. I did exactly what I said not to do.
Not to do. You're going on over.
They landed. I've gone slightly over by a
yes.
couple of stitches, so I'm going to take them out. Actually, it probably, with this fabric, you would get away with it.
Yeah, but in
with
any
cotton,
other
it would show.
No, you'd have to get rid of it, yeah.
So I'd just take those two stitches out and then over-sew a little bit just to make sure those were secure. But I'll leave them in because
Yeah, we need to
I don't know where I've put the seam ripper. It's in the trolley somewhere.
Oh, okay. Because you've used it so often over the last couple of days, is that what you mean? Right. So that's the
don't know
top
what you
leg,
mean.
front leg.
So that's the front leg.
Yeah.
And then the hoof is exactly the same piece. The top hoof and the bottom hoof is the same for the bottom.
the back leg,
For the back leg. So I'd do that then. So open this out and sew the top hoof around there.
Yeah.
And then add the foot.
Now that's bigger, isn't the back? So there's no getting them. That's bigger than that hoof, isn't it?
No, they're exactly the same.
How weird. That's
Is it an optical illusion?
then, isn't it? It looks much bigger.
So this is the one I've been...
Made earlier.
Yes.
So has this all gone to one? We've finished all these
All
bits
these
now.
can go to one side now. Shall I move them out
Yeah,
of the way?
please, thank you.
Sorry.
Done that. You've
Tidy up.
done that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So this is it as far as you've got now with all four legs on.
So I've stitched where I was up to with the other one. I've stitched the top of the hoof on.
Yeah.
And I'll just put the bottom on now.
So that
I
one I've just thrown away, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll undiscard it.
Yes.
So the tricky bit with the body is getting those seams to land in the right place on the side, sort of at the armpits.
Yes. Oh, yes, because there's four armpits. Oh, no,
The
that one
bottom
hasn't got
one's
an
easy.
armpit. No, that one hasn't got an armpit. Wait, but leg pit, then. Plenty of time, 9 minutes to finish this. We have to stuff it and everything.
Well,
Yeah, we've got 9 minutes left, but there's episode sold out in 9 minutes. So if we had the same amount again, we could sell all of them again. They are working on getting some more. They are working on getting, it won't be today, obviously.
I had somebody send me a message yesterday. And
I know what you're going to say, but go on.
Go on, what?
No, I guess I'm wrong.
And just as a, casual sort of aside, when can you work on, and named a specific animal, and it's the next one.
And it's the next one?
It's the very next one that's out.
Oh, no,
So,
not saying anything. Not because we got told off. We got told off last time, so we won't say it this time.
Was that your impression? Oh, well, everyone will know now.
Of course they will. It's a meerkat.
There we go. So
it's not a meerkat. It's not a meerkat. It's not a meerkat. That's a license thing, isn't it? Right.
There we go. So move the threads.
Looks like a frog now.
It does have a slightly odd.
Yes.
So the front legs are done, and the back legs just need closing along the bottom.
Okay.
And there's a marker for the centre of the back. And you can, if you want, sew these together just a little bit because we've got to put the tail in, so don't sew too high up and do it all in one.
Okay.
But I just do it one at a time, make sure I finish in the centre and leave the seam allowance on here. And then I'll pop the head on. Oh, it's nearly done, just needs a mane going in.
You've got how many minutes? 6 minutes? I don't know how I'm going to stand up for 5 hours. What would you call this? You don't do names, do you? Zed, the zebra. Zebedee. Zoe. Deborah the zebra.
Deborah the zebra's good, I like that.
I don't know where this is called Lisa, this unicorn here. That was us, that was the designer. Called it Lisa. Do you think so? Oh, what were there? What? Oh, just very quickly, while Joe's saying that, I've got 2 bundles left from this morning show, early morning show. There's the aqua. Now, I think there are only a couple of the aqua ones left. Oh, got it wrong. It's the other way around, the rainbow one. So you get 8.5 meters of fabric. You get 1 meter of everything apart from the azure. This is the second one up. You get the instructions and you get the thread. You get 1.5 meters of azure. You get £69.99. That's the Aqualisa. My shower's made by a company called Aqualisa. They're like a computerized shower.
Oh, is it one where you tell it to?
No, I don't tell it anything, but the button's next to my bed. So I get up, press the button, and so by the time I walk to the bathroom, the shower's ready to go. The rainbow option, which is this one. Oh, once everyone checks out, that one's gone. There's 5 left, and there are 5 unchecked out of the basket. So again, you get 1 meter of each fabric apart from the flamingo, which is the 5th one up, which you get 1.5 meters. That one, you get the instructions and the thread, £69.99. And this is what you can create with it, or 4 floor cushions you could do. Is that a picture or is that? No. I'm just going to show you the back, because also we had that gorgeous fabric earlier, look. We sell this fabric, so you need 4 meters of this fabric. It's called Sky. Brand new today, brand new today. Beautiful, isn't it? It's £5.99, I think. Oh, there you go, £5.99 for half a metre, which is 8 units. Right.
Want to throw the scissors on the floor?
Do what?
I try not to throw the scissors on the floor. Right, I'm going to join the head, but first of all, I need to close this dart in the centre of the body. Yes. If I'm perfectly honest...
You haven't closed that dart yet either.
No, I need that one.
Oh, you need that one open?
I need that one for... just to give it a bit more movement freedom to move it round. Oh. But this one, if I'm honest, in the pattern, I probably said to close it a long time ago.
Yes. So that next animal, which we can't talk about, is it well underway, or is it... Oh,
I finished it. It's all done, and it will debut in the magazine soon.
Okay. You've seen it? Oh, is it?
Who's seen it?
Little Paul's seen it.
So I'm going to start at the top here. So line up one side of the dart with the top and sew this around. And then once you get to these seams here, which corresponds with this seam, pause with the needle down, pivot and stretch. Well, it fits, so don't stretch it. but across the bottom. So the top of the stomach and
the
this
bib.
middle head piece. And then pivot again and do up the other side.
Okay. You've got time.
And then I'll put the main. Oh, sorry, that's me messing with the thread.
Because you didn't put a new needle in this morning.
Yeah. And most of the other designers can be seen over the top of that.
Yes.
Is it just my bun?
Yeah, just the bun bobbing up and down. Mind you, I noticed the other day, I was watching Vix, presenter Vix, the other day, and she can hardly see over the top of the table, can she, most of the time?
Well, I tried on the coatigan yesterday.
Oh, yes.
And I'm not really... I think possibly I'm a little bit too short. If I'm making it, I'd have to make it a little bit shorter. I think that one was made for Natasha to wear rather than me.
5'5", I thought that one was made for. How tall are you?
5'4" and...
Oh.
Surely at least a half.
Yeah. So you're the same height as Paul, little Paul. But you put a bun on, so you look taller.
I did, yeah. Maybe Paul should do
Maybe we should put Paul's hair in a bun, then he'd be taller. If he had any hair.
Right, so I'm getting to that seam now, and I'm going to pause with the needle down. Lift this up, rearrange all this.
It looks complicated, but if you take your time, look, it does work really easily. It's just that there's lots of bulk in there, isn't there?
There we go, and I should probably have up the needle at this point, because we're going through quite a few seams to a chunkier, a 14 probably. So I'm sewing right across the top of the stomach, under the neck. Pause again. Bless you.
Thank you. I got away, nobody would have known that sneezed until you went, bless you.
And having that dart still open just means we've got a little bit more freedom. And also it helps for popping the mane in a minute.
Yeah. Oh yeah, got to the mane's gone, yeah, haven't we? Mane and the tail.
There we go, so we've got the head on and the mane. Baste the 3 layers together.
Yeah.
I've got
2 more minutes.
2 more minutes. Oh, that's not too bad.
Oh,
I'm chasing the pedal.
back the joint.
Sorry.
Lucky we've got some brand new machines coming in on Friday, isn't it? The way
are they?
Joe Carter's going on with this one.
So I've basted those together as one panel.
Yeah.
And then with the head this way round.
Oh, you put them inside?
Inside and line up the top of the mane with that dart so it's right behind the fringe.
Yeah.
And baste it into position first so it's held into place. I'm not going to for time.
1 minute we've got left.
So I'll close this dart. I'm just going to do that to squidge the fringe out of the way so it doesn't get caught.
How do you attach the tail? In the same sort of way?
The tail is basted together and then folded in half so it's...
Oh, I see. It's in half, because
So it will be a chunkier...
In half like that? Like into 3 or in half?
Yes, in half like that, I think. Oh, no, in half. So just doubled over.
Oh, I see, like that, like that. So you do the tail like that in half to stitch that into the centre back seam, because we're going to have to go in a second. When are you in next?
I don't know, because I'm off on holiday.
Oh, yes, her kid's got 2 weeks on half term, yeah. And then Helen's going to move into her house while they all go off on holiday.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Look after the cat.
Look after the cat. Have a lovely time.
Oh, thank you.
Because I'm sorry, I've got to go.
Right.
But again, a gorgeous animal. And wait till you see the next one as well. That's going to be fantastic. Thank you, Joe.
Thank
See you
you
later. Right, obviously the zebra is sold out completely. All I've got is unicorns now. I've got this one here, which is the blue and gold one. So you get 1/2 metre of the white fleece. You get 2 squares of the blue felt. You get 1/2 metre of the gold. You get silver thread and black thread and white thread. And you get the instructions and you get the stuffing. £19.99. And then I've got lilac and silver, which is this one here. So you get 1/2 metre of the white fleece. You get 2 lilac felts. You get the silver lame fabric. You get pink thread, black thread, white thread, instructions and stuffing. There it all is. For £19.99. Okay, I'm going to do them again. Okay, the unicorn quilt from the first hour. I've got the aqua bundle. Remember, it's not yours until you check out. Aqualisa, the unicorn kit, 8.5 metres of fabric. You get a metre of everything apart from the azure, which you get 1.5 metres. You get the instructions and you get the thread. And there's also very, very limited, the rainbow one, which is the one that one that Joe had made, is up there. Now, in that one, you get a metre of everything apart from the flamingo, which is the 5th one up. You get 1.5 metres of that, plus the thread, plus the instructions. £69.99 that makes that. Now, you can make 4 floor cushions as well if you want to, but you can't make the bigger quilt. That's 60 by 60, that one, I think, or something like that. After break, now we've got Jenniffer Taylor using boiled wool on a brand new pattern, and we're going to bring you boiled wool at a special brand new price. So don't go anywhere. I'll show you the jacket as soon as we come back. And also, if you haven't heard the announcement, watch the adverts.
Follow us on Pinterest. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to discover sewing work we create and love. Join us on Thursday, the 31st of May, when designer, teacher and author Carolyn Forster is here to launch her brand new book. The Joy of Jelly Rolls is Carolyn's complete guide to quilting and sewing with jelly rolls, a fabric pre-cut we know you love as much as we do. Carolyn will be in the studio to share projects from the book along with tips and techniques honed from teaching the world over. From clever machine piecing hexagons and intricate folded log cabin to a sleepy tabby cat pillow, Carolyn shows that the possibilities with jelly rolls are endless. In fact, there are 44 designs in the book, including 24 quilts, all in Carolyn's trademark fresh feminine style. So tune in to help Carolyn celebrate her latest joyous jelly roll book, Thursday the 31st of May at 10 a.m, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 687. Join us on Wednesday the 30th of May for 2 hours with dressmaking guru Jenny Smith. At 8 a.m, it's the return of Jenny's popular Hepworth pinafore pattern. Then at 10 a.m, Jenny debuts her brand new pattern. The Riley Collection top and dress pattern is perfect for beginners with a gentle introduction to top stitching, bust darts and inseam pockets. All you have to worry about is deciding which fabric to mix and match from. Our hand-picked selection of denims, cottons, chambray and linen. So tune in for stylish modern dressmaking with Jenny Smith, Wednesday the 30th of May at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 687.
Tune in on Friday the 1st of June at 11 a.m, where we'll be stocking the new Elna Experience 550, 560 and 570 sewing machines. With up to 50 stitch combinations and 15 variable needle positions, these machines are perfect if you love easy, speedy sewing. These all-round machines will handle an array of different fabrics with ease, ensuring you get all of the enjoyment out of your next project. So tune in on Friday the 1st of June from our brand new time of 9 a.m, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 687.
Follow us on Instagram. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to get our latest posts. Finally, we can start spreading the news. From Friday the 1st of June, we are going to be changing our hours, and I think you're going to like it. First of all, we're going to be switching on our live on-air light at the slightly later time of 9 a.m. So that gives you an extra hour for breakfast in bed. But even better than that, we are going to be live through until 2 p.m. So that's an extra hour on air live, giving us 5 whole hours of dressmaking, sewing, quilting, 7 days a week. So join us live on air for 5 whole hours from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m, 7 days a week from the 1st of June.
You know, when you're just popping out the house, you need something just to throw on because it might be not cold, but a bit chilly, especially in the mornings at the moment. I love a gilet, but this is kind of an extension to a gilet. It's lovely, isn't it? Made with the boiled wool, so it's not lined, so it's just the one layer thick. Really, really lovely, just throw on, isn't it? You're meeting the girls for lunch. Do you know what I'd be tempted to do as well? If you were styling it, I might put a nice big chunky leather belt across there as well, just to cinch it in at the waist a bit. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Anyway, it's a brand new pattern. Brand spanking new pattern. Here it is. Now, you can make it fully lined. You can make it with sleeves or without sleeves. Or, of course, you've got the different lengths. Brand new pattern, size 6 to 22. Shawl collar, vest, and jacket size. Now, if it's brand new, can we have a look at the back? Can you check the back of the package has been taken with the flap out for me? $8.99. Okay, look. No. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yes, that's brilliant. So, you know, normally, because on a pattern, right? On a pattern, they all grade to different sizes. So on the flap of a pattern here, these are your measurements, and then so sometimes they're all like, you see, they've got a size 18 as a 40-inch bust there. They're your measurements, not the measurements of the finished garment, you see. So you need to cut out the one. So that's why I think it's important that the back of the pattern on the photographs is always out, so you can see all the information. Brilliant, isn't it? $8.99 that, $8.99. Now, I gave you a bit of a tease before the break. I've got boiled wool. And I've got boiled wool on special offer today. Special offer today. So which colour shall I start at? Oh, OK, we'll go this one then. Right, great. This is like a soft dove grey. Was $11.99, now $9.99. Now, I don't know how long that's going to go on for. No idea whether it's just for the day or whether it's for until stocks last or what. $9.99 for half a metre. Look at the width. Look at the width. Look. 145 centimetres wide. And it is wool. It's boiled wool. 100% wool, this one. Lovely. Now, it's got a lovely texture. Now, boiled wool, as you know what it feels like, you wouldn't want it next to you wouldn't want to make a blouse out of it or a pair of trousers out of it. But as a jacket or a gilet, it's lovely because it's got that lovely texture to it. So this is light grey. Was $11.99. Now, $9.99 for half a metre. Okay, moving on. Ecru, now this is lovely for winter whites. Now, the thing is, I know we're coming into summer, but it's lovely. If you've got to wear like a gilet in the summer, this colour would be gorgeous, wouldn't it? I always call it winter white or wedding white. It's that kind of ecru. Now, I wouldn't say it was an ecru, because I think an ecru is more of a biscuity colour. This is definitely clotted cream, I'd say. Was $11.99? Was $11.99. It's now $9.99 for half a metre. I don't know if it's just for the day or whether stocks last or whether, I don't know what they've just done it. They've just messaged Paul and said, this is it, this is it. So we didn't even know it in the prep this morning. So I've now got taupe, which is, I would say, was more dark mushroom. It's nice, isn't it? Look. I think that might be one of my favourites, that one. Oh, no. Boiled wool, 100% wool, and it's been boiled. Was $11.99. It is now $9.99 for half a metre. I have no idea how long that offer will last. Then I've got the most gorgeous green coming up next. Now, I seem to remember have they called it olive? I know. This is the colour of Nocchicelli olives, isn't it? Those lovely, gorgeous. Paul loves this. Olive boiled wool. Look at the colour. It's just beautiful. Paul loves it. He keeps telling me, I love this one, John. $11.99 for half a metre was now $9.99 for half a metre. Well, it's either for the day or while stocks last. I don't know. But the most limited one, oh no, is the one Jennifer's using and has. So she's used the green and the wine in this one. In the demonstration, she's using the ecru and the wine. This is the most limited. Most limited. Was $11.99? $9.99, half a metre. Beautiful, isn't it? Now, that's the most limited, so if you are thinking, oh, I will pop in and get some today, please, please, please be careful. I know, £9.99. Now, on your EPG on the telly, there's been a bit of a mistake. It says, oh, has it been changed? Oh, it's been changed, but they can't change it from on the actual day, can they? No, I think when we used to work with the last page, you had to let them know by 5 o'clock the day before. It's Jenniffer's jacket, it's called now. Jenniffer's jacket, it's called. Right, come on, Jenniffer's jacket. Wheelie it in. Lots of people loving the offer, I'm not surprised.
Nice,
right, so now.
Yes.
On the pattern, you can make a lined coat, like a fully formal coat,
yes.
can't you?
Yeah.
But if you want to, if you use the fabric like a boiled wool, you don't need to, do you?
No. I'm going to show you some techniques to hand finish that off so it looks great.
Go on then. Can I just say, your makeup is really lovely today.
Oh, thank you.
I noticed it during the last time. I thought, I can't just suddenly disturb her and go, your makeup's really
great.
nice. But it's really lovely. Maybe it's you, maybe you're just glowing, but...
I've gone with a slight pink.
Oh, is that what it is? You have changed it then?
Yeah, it's a new eyeshadow.
Oh, that's exactly what it is. Now you've said it. Nice eyeshadow. Right.
Thanks.
Let's go
Anyway,
on
we digress.
Come on, girl.
Well, I thought I'd go with the, you know.
Yeah, you don't think that far.
No, I didn't think that far ahead, especially not at 4 o'clock this morning.
No,
anyway.
exactly.
Right, okay, so great pattern. You've got another options in there with the jacket. So you have your normal jacket. You've got bits with alternate collar and bottom part.
Yes.
And then you've got your sort of gilet, if you like, at the very bottom there.
Do you know what would be nice? This would be nice in the shorter one, in the PU that we do.
Yes.
You know, the PU would be lovely.
Oh, actually mixing it up as well.
Oh, no, this, yes, very nice.
Very nice.
Right.
So if you're wanting to go with the sort of two-toned effect, if you like.
Yes.
In the size 12, which is what I've done for Armandi the mannequin, you only need ½ a metre for the bottom parts of the 2 bottom pieces.
Oh, fantastic.
So if you're thinking about doing a mix and match, and you mentioned obviously the red being quite limited.
Yes.
If you definitely want to have some red but just want that detail, then I would go with at ½ a metre, and if you're a size 12, that will be enough to do the bottom panels front and back.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Yeah, excellent.
If you want a little bit, if you want to mix and match it a little bit. So I thought I'd go wine options, white and red. Okay, so dressmaking, normal things apply. Obviously, we've got all of our notches that we need to put in. A, B, and C is the sleeve options. So I'm not going to mark those in because I'm not going to do that for you today. I'm going to show you a little quick technique on how to finish your arms, though.
Fantastic.
Because in the instructions for the gilet, which is option D, it's a lined option.
Right.
If you want to lengthen and shorten here, that's the clear line for you there. So obviously you cut and move that apart for however long or short you want it to go on. And then this is obviously going to be attached into our bottom piece, which I'm going to be doing in our lovely wine colour. And then the last but not least here, for options C and D, there's an option for a pocket.
Oh, okay.
You do know that I love a pocket, so I've done a pocket in one side.
Right.
Like so, but not in the other, just in case you wanted to see what the finish looks like.
Yeah, I think, you see, I love a pocket as well, but it's more, that's the side with the pocket. But I do think if you're going for streamline, that the non-pocket side is very, very, But I quite also like that. I like 2 pockets to, you know.
Yeah, so it's not just, there is 2 pockets left and right, but I've decided to do a with or without option.
Exactly.
All right?
Can I just ask, on the front, are there any darts or any shaping or anything like that?
No, there's no darts or anything like that, so I can just show you there in the front. There's no darts in the front bodice at all. This is a sewn-on collar, so this is a separate part there. So it's almost quite princess seams. So if I just bring in the front panel here. So this is the front section. So you have got this slight curving in the front, which will obviously be for the bust area. So it doesn't cover the full part of your, it's not like a coat that you'd button up.
No.
But you definitely what you said about maybe having a nice chunky belt just to cinch it in at the waist. That would look really lovely. And also it does slightly come up as well, so it's got that angle.
You have to be careful with the belt. It would have to be a very wide belt, because if you put a thin belt on, it's going to be on the red. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's going to be, because it's shaped at the front. You've got almost shoot shape, but you need it to cover the whole thing.
Yeah, so big chunk, maybe chunky button will look lovely. So yeah, as far as shaping, you're right there, John. There's no darts or anything like that. So it's a simple sew as far as that's concerned, because there isn't any shaping as such. It all comes in the pattern. So the first thing we're going to do is do the back. So I'm just going to take our pattern pieces off.
Okay, it's cut on the fold, the back.
This one's cut on the fold, yeah. So I'm using a walking foot today just to really help me sew it up quicker at home.
Right.
It's not essential that you have a walking foot,
No.
but I do think if you've got one, pop it on. It just makes it a lot easier.
Well, when Jules has used this fabric, she's just used her overlocker in a straightforward...
Yeah.
So it is possible. You don't have to have
Yeah,
the
it's
walking
not...
foot. But if you've got one, use it because it helps.
Oh, of course it does, of course it does. So I'm opening that up.
Right.
And I'm opening that up. So I know that these are my right sides, so I'm putting those together. Sorry. Yeah, that's right, right sides together. Okay, so there are some notches. So you can see I've made just little cuts in there.
Yeah.
Oh, you joking.
Oh.
You fold it over.
There they are.
Wrong side. Let's do it again. There you go. So we've got our two little notches that we need to pop together. So I will just pop some pins in those sections because it's quite malleable, the wool is, so you don't want to be stretching it.
Yes.
So you want to make sure that you've got your notches in place. So we're going to sew that together with a 1.5 seam allowance. That's in the pattern.
Okay.
Okay. It's nice to work with though, isn't it? Have you worked with it yet?
Yeah, oh yes. And also it's really good because it doesn't fray.
Oh, I love it.
So if you don't want to finish the edges at all, you could just leave them all raw. How do you care for boiled wool? I'd say wash it.
Just wash it. To be careful of shrinkage. You don't want to put it on a hot wash, obviously.
No. But it's already been through a hot wash.
Yeah.
So it's but what I would do is I would cut a piece, I'd wash it on different temperatures. You can wash it, it's absolutely fine to wash. All I do is if you were going to do a split one like this, the colour shouldn't run, but I would do a test.
A little test
to
run.
begin with.
Okay, so we've got our our back pieces sewn together now. So if I just bring that around. So as John said, with this, with our lovely wool, once you've cut it, it doesn't fray. It really does sort of behave itself.
Yeah.
But I'm going to show you a quick finishing technique just to help, because obviously at the moment these are quite bulky seams. So we're going to do a welt seam.
Oh yes.
Okay, so the first
Will
thing...
you need the iron at all for this?
No, I'll put it on just in case, but I'm going to just bodge it. So the first thing I want to do is trim this right back. This is where you need a good pair of scissors.
Helen's messaging saying, how many metres do you need to make the pattern, please? Helen, do you mean for the one that Jenniffer's made, and in what size would you like it? Because hang on, it's D. It's D, and it's 100. It's saying 2 metres. Well, it's saying 2 metres. That's if you're making it all the same colour. Mm-hmm. For 150 centimetres wide.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. 145, 150, it's absolutely fine. It won't make any difference. Yeah.
Okay. So we've got one of our seams trimmed really close to our stitch line. So you're about a couple of, maybe sort of 3/4 of an inch.
Yes.
Sorry, 3/8 of an inch. A seam allowance on the one side. And then what you're going to do is tuck that one over. So this one's going to enclose that shorter seam.
Right.
I'm going to stitch that down, but I'm going to do it from the front. Now I'm going to put that to my red side. So I'm taking the seams down rather than up the body. So if you're going to do that, just remember when you're doing all of them that they're all going in the right direction. Yes. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that down.
So it's almost like half a French seam.
Yeah.
Because you're doing your raw... Not that it matters, because this isn't going to fray anyway. And if you're lining it, you don't need to do any of these. This is just for the boiled wool,
This is just for the boiled wool, and if you want to do the cheap method where we're not lining it.
Yes.
But, no, so yeah, you're absolutely right. It's an enclosed seam, and you're using the larger seam to kind of overlap the shorter seam.
One, yeah. But also, isn't it? Haven't I got welt seams on my jeans? Hang on.
Oh no, they're flat fell seams. They're flat fell seams. Same process where you're covering one seam with the other. One turns under. Yeah. So whereas this one, I'm not turning it under again. I've just lay it flat, literally.
Yes. But also, like we said, the boiled wool, you could just, if you've got an overlocker, you could just overlock it.
Oh, you could zip the whole thing up with an overlocker. Yeah, totally. I just think this just gives a finish to the garment, adds that really nice top stitching detail, and then just kind of helps just reduce the bulk a little bit. So you can see how that's making that one just lay nice and flat there.
Yeah.
So that's our welt seam. So you can see that I can't see the other one. That's all been tucked under in that second line of stitching. And you could go in again if you want and trim a little bit more off that if you wanted to. But that's doing the job as far as the welt seam is concerned. So that's the first one done.
What you could almost do as well with this boiled wool is if you wanted to make a feature of it, you could do another line of stitches just about 3/8 of an inch away from that one.
Oh, yeah.
And then you'd catch that bit down, wouldn't you, there? Yeah. Not that you need to, but just as a design feature,
as a design
really.
feature. Okay, so when we come into the bodice, there's a couple of bits that you need to pay attention of. So,
All right.
again, we've got our top section, which again I'm staying with the sort of, it's like cream. It is, why is it like a nice clotted cream?
They call it ecru, but it's like
I think it's more clotted cream.
Yeah.
So it's the little triangle here that's really important.
Oh, hang on, just coming in on that.
So I've just moved my pattern piece away from the edge for you there, but it's that triangle there.
Yeah.
And then also the triangle in the, that's right, in this section here. So this is the 6, 8, 10 and 12. It'd be that triangle that I'm interested in because I'm cutting a size 12. But obviously you need to use the appropriate triangle depending on what size you're going with. Yeah. So these are the two real main key parts of that pattern for our next step, which will be putting the collar on. Okay. And then also before we move on, there's also a little circle here at the very bottom where it attaches itself to the lower piece on the bodice. So it's just here. Coming in. So again, we've got our little triangle there, which we need to match up. But this part is telling you where you need to stop sewing. Okay, so make sure you read your instructions. But just to give you the heads up, if you're watching this as you're sewing together at home, these circles are really important. So this one's going to tell you to stop sewing, all right? So I'm going to put these two pieces together, so exactly the same as the back piece. But this time we just need to stop at a certain point. So if we just fold that back. I'm going to go there and there. So you can see here, there was the triangle on this piece. There's the triangle one, just there. Yeah. And then I've got that one there, which is my circle. Obviously, you can do a tailor's tack at home if you wanted to, but I'm going to go with my quick snip method.
Hello, John and Jennifer. I've bought the pattern. How much fabric for size 22? By the way, I'm loving the new shirts, John. Thank you, Jeanette in Leeds. Thank you. It's only number 2 of 8, but I'm off now for 2 days, so you'll have to wait a couple of days to see the next ones. Size 22. If you want to make this one, the one with no sleeves in it. Oh, no, do you know what? Oh, yes. It's 2 metres. It's 2 metres. Because the last lady who messaged in didn't say what size, did she? So if you want to make this in a size 22, it's 2 metres. Now, depending on what colour, would you go 1 metre of each, or would you go 1.5 and half?
Let me just get the.
Because I haven't got a contrast. I haven't got because she hasn't done contrast on the pattern, has she? It's literally said if it's 150 centimetres wide, you need 2 metres.
Well, if you go to pattern B.
Oh yeah, pattern B there.
Contrast. So the contrast is also. So if you're doing the larger size, then they're saying you'd need 1 metre to cover for the contrast.
Which is the bottom bit and the
collar.
Oh, they've done on their one. They've done the collar, and that'd be nice as well. Why do you think of that, Jennifer?
I like the green.
I do, but I kind of like that as well. Anyway, so you need a total of 2 metres.
Yes.
So would you go 1 metre of each? Oh no, that's to do the collar. So right, okay. If you're going to do exactly the same as Jennifer in a size 22, I would buy 1.5 metres of the top colour and 0.5 metre of the bottom colour. Is that what? Oh, you're right. Yeah, it's just. But if you're going to do the collar, in the same colour as that, then do 50 and 50.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I was saying.
On the back of the packet, it tells you. Okay, so I use the option B, which is the contrast full jacket, but that will give you an indication of what you need to get if you're going to go with the gilet and do combinations. So all I'm doing is mixing and matching the different options within the pattern. So I want contrast, but I don't want to make a full jacket.
So if you're making identical to Jennifer, would you go 1.5 and half, or would you go 1 and 1?
Give me the packet.
I think you'd go 1 and 1. I've got another question here. As a beginner sewist, what would be the best and easiest way for me to transfer the pattern markings onto material? Oh, I'll do that for you in a second, Pamela, my love.
Okay.
In a size 22.
Size 22, she wants to go gilet.
Yes, same as yours. So we're going exactly the same as yours.
Is this a 22 pattern?
Oh, if I remember rightly, all the patterns are in this one. So you know, normally we have large and then a small.
Yes.
It's all in the one pattern.
So option D in the 22. It's saying the contrast 1.
Oh, you've got contrast in that one then?
Yeah. Contrast 1 is 1 metre.
That's only for...
So that's purely just for the collar.
Right.
Because it's a long piece.
Yes, okay.
And then you've also got contrast 2, which is the bottom part, which is this part.
Yeah.
And that's saying 70 centimetres, so it would be a metre.
Yeah.
So the problem with the collar, the reason why you need 1 metre,
It's
is
the
because
length.
one, it's the length, and 2, it's on a bias. It's not straight.
Okay.
To be fair, because it's a boiled wool, you could probably get away with cutting that on the grain. But if you're going to go as per so if you're going to use this pattern for something else, then to do the collar, you would absolutely need a metre because it's
Just for the collar?
Just for the collar, because it's on the bias.
Okay. So in that case, I would buy, to be on the safe side, a size 22.
1 metre.
1 metre and 1.5 metres.
Yes.
That's what I'd do. So you have to buy a little bit more because the collar is such a long piece. So even though it's saying 2 metres, if you're going to do it in one colour, if you're doing 2 colours, I'd go 1.5 and 1.
That's what I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Phew, we got there. Right now, very quickly, that message is gone. A new buyer said, how would she transfer, you've done little notches, how could she transfer the markings onto her pattern?
Let me get a little needle.
Sorry, your message is gone, so I can't remember your names. Oh, Pamela, that's it.
I'm using the longest Sashiko needle ever.
Right. What's the matter, Paul? Oh, yeah, it's there now. Pamela, we're going to show you now, Pamela. By the way, if you're buying the boiled wools, they're absolutely flying, especially the ecru. You're loving the new deal today.
So if I
This is very quickly, Pamela, for you, and then we'll get on with the pattern.
Okay, so let's just, I haven't sewn that one on yet, so let's just remove that for a second. Okay, so if I just put my pattern piece the right way. There we go. All right, so let's say it's this little circular one here. What I would probably do is put a little bit of sellotape on these, and then make a little notch into the sellotape. That way, it just protects that area, especially if you're going to be making it quite often.
Yes.
So if you're not confident doing the little snips into the seams, which is what I do for speed, then I would suggest doing what's called a tailor's tack. So you're not using your water erasable on this. You are literally using some thread. So first of all, you want some thread that you're going to see. Now I'm going to do it on our cream fabric, so the red is perfect for this. But if it was a tailor's tack in the wine, don't use red thread because you can't see it.
Use your white,
and use your cheap thread as well. You want it to come out very simple. So don't use your posh thread on this. So all you're going to do is go through the layer once and come back out. So in theory, I'd be doing this through 2 layers of fabric.
Yeah.
It's important that you leave yourself a nice long tail. So I've gone for about 1 inch, or probably just over actually. Come back in and out again through the same point, but this time you want to leave a loop. So I like to put my finger there to make sure I've got enough. Now it's important that you don't have that loop too tight. You don't want it down here somewhere, because what will happen is when you separate your layers of fabric, obviously I'm just doing it through the 1 layer for the moment, but if it was through 2, if the loop's too tight, then you're not going to have enough tack. So go big or go home, basically, it would be my option. So when you separate, so imagine the tracing paper is the fabric, it will come to a point where it wants to stop. The loop will stop it from going any further. So then what you would then do is make a little cut. So you can see I've got a tailor's tack in my fabric, but also, in this case, my tracing paper. But let's just imagine that's another layer of fabric. Another layer of fabric. So those would stay in there until you're sewing, and then you take them out when you're ready.
So then, Pamela, they'd stay there. Then when you come to sew it together, you're thinking, now, what's that little mark for? You refer back to the pattern, you go, oh, that's right, that's where I don't sew past that point. Once you've sewn it, you can just take them out. They just come out straight away.
Just come out. So it's just a temporary way of marking your fabric without risking, or is the water erasable paint?
Well, it's when I trained, we had chalk or tailor's tack. That was it. That was it.
So if you're going to use chalk, then what I would suggest doing is putting your pin through the point of reference and then literally marking where the needle is going through, or the pin, so is going through the fabric.
Exactly. Jeanette says, thank you, John, for the info. Love the boiled wool. I've done the coating in lime green, and it's a dream to sew on the overlocker, says Jeanette. It is, Jeanette. Thank you. And it's going together really well on a sewing machine as well, so.
So just going back to my tailor's tack, I can see clearly now, especially on that white, where I need to start and end. So I am going to do a little back stitch there. Okay. So what I would then do again with these pieces, I would still go ahead and flat fell those, but
Right.
I want to do that after because I'm still working through a process, okay? So don't not flat fell, don't welt them yet, which is what we did here.
And also, don't be frightened that you're putting your panel together. First of all, that's where your dot is, where you mustn't sew up to. But also, they're different sizes, look. So don't be thinking, oh, that's got to go to there and bodge it on. It's all in the instructions of why it's sticking out like that.
So the next thing we need to do, if we've got time, or do you want me to pause?
No, go for 4 minutes, then I'll go over there.
So now we're going to start creating the jacket. So we're putting the right sides together with our shoulder seams first. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can see that we're wanting to sew across these shoulder pieces, and then I'd finish them with a welt seam. So I would welt all the seams. I've not done that one yet because I need to do something else with it, but this one you can do.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the colours. You see, I quite like the green with either grey or taupe as well. They're two beautiful colours.
Oh, nice.
Do you mind if I do it in a minute? Because we're going to go over and do the fabrics. Just do this with Jenniffer, and then I'll go over and do it.
So when you're doing your welt on your shoulder seams, I like to push them through to the back rather than the front.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
So again, I'm just going to trim the back seam.
Yeah.
And the same on this one. So if you have your duckbill scissors, actually those are really good.
Oh yes. Amanda White uses duckbill scissors all the time for her when she's doing dressmaking and cutting away like that.
Okay. So again, I'm just going to sew those right down, but make sure you're doing it from the right side up.
Yes.
Okay. And then once I've done that, all I'm going to do then is just do a quick stay stitch around the neckline, ready for putting our collar on.
Okay, brilliant. Do you know what you could also do? You could also do your top stitching in the contrast. So on the ecru, do it in a wine.
Oh, yeah.
And on the wine, do it in an ecru or a biscuit. Oh. Nothing squeaking in here.
Squeaking?
Oh, you got a new ring, Jenniffer. I just noticed that. Is it amethyst?
Which one?
That one.
This one? Oh no, I've had that some time. I haven't worn it for a while.
Right, they're just taking your microphone out, so don't talk for a second. Oh, apparently it's my microphone that's clicking. What do you want me to do to it?
Do you need to do something?
Apparently so.
Right, I'm going to just walk you through this then. So we're going to do some stay stitching in here now.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to sew in. I'm actually going to do a 1.5 seam allowance because we'll want to clip back to that point in a second.
So when you say a stay stitch, you're literally just stitching around. Is it going to go around the back of the neck?
I'm just going a little bit around the front, but mainly around the back. And I am going to be stitching the 1.5 seam allowance. Normally when you do a stay stitch, you kind of put it within the seam allowance.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, I'm going to go right onto it. But so ideally, you'd probably want to use your cream thread on this, but I want you to see what I'm doing, which is why I've done it in the big bold red for you. Okay. So it's just this section here, really, that I'm interested in because it's cutting into the fabric on a bias. So I don't want to overstretch that. No. Okay. So then it's about putting our collar on. So I'm happy to park if you want to come back, or do you want me to carry on?
Yep. You park. Oh, you park there. I'll be back in a second.
Okay.
Right. That's it. Is my microphone all right now? Oh, no. Okay. Pattern. Brand new. Its size is 6 to 20. I'm sorry if my microphone's making a lot of noise at home. it working? Thank you very much, Christopher. Right, okay, so this is the pattern, £8.99, brand new today. Perfecto, thank you very much. Now, the fabric special deal. Now, I don't know how long this is going to last for, whether it's... oh, you've asked? I'll get Hayley. Hayley or Harriet? Gray first. I'll get them through to the studio. Hayley or Harriet through to the studio immediately, please. This is the grey. It's gorgeous. Soft grey. Now, it was £11.99. It is now £9.99. Beautiful, isn't it? Now, I might do green next, Paul, if that's all right, because I just said the green looks lovely. Oh, yes, look, those two look gorgeous. Oh, yes, they look lovely together, don't they? So this is the green, this is olive. I'll take the grey out now. Because that's not the graphics in there. So this is the olive. I'll show you the width as well while we're here, look. 154 centimetres wide, 145 centimetres wide, sorry, 145 centimetres wide. $9.99 or was $11.99, now $9.99. We're just trying to find out. Right, now then, let's get the next one in, which is the taupe. Oh, you see, they look lovely together as well, don't they? Just look at those two there. That's the taupe. I'll take the green out so you don't get confused. That's lovely as well, isn't it? Beautiful. Like a deep mushroom, I'd call that one. $11.99. Oh, we're just finding out now for you. Okay, you've just gone very loud suddenly. Ecru next. Ecru. Was $11.99. This is the most popular today. Excuse me. $9.99 for half a metre now. That's what you get for your $9.99. Oh, okay, right. I don't know. They can't tell me. There's nobody in the building. They're all in. Remember I said earlier, oh, it's Tuesday. Normally we have the big management meeting on a Monday. Management have bank holidays off, don't they? Unlike, you know, the rest of us. So they're in a meeting now, so I can't tell you when it's going to finish. I can't tell you if it's just today. Or well, no, I don't want to add any undue pressure. I don't want to do that at all. I would never want you to do that. But if you're gonna just get it now. $9.99. Well, it might all go today. It might all go today. Who knows? Obviously, when we reorder it, it won't. If they do it until stocks last, when it comes back in, it'll be back up to $11.99, won't it? Who knows? Who knows? You know this place. Who knows? Right. Okay. Let's move on. Sorry, Jennifer. Leave.
All right.
Oh yes. What? Wine is the most unpopular by far. It's overtaken the ecru.
Right, I'll just finish up to the shoulder seam and I'll just recap what I've done with you.
Brilliant, thank you. Sews really well though, doesn't it?
Oh, I love it. Okay, let's just stop there for a second. Okay, so all I've done now is attached my collar to the bodice. So if I just open that out so you can clearly see. So it looks like it's been run over at the moment.
Yes.
There you go.
So the collar, is the collar a straight piece then?
So yeah, the collar's on it's on the bias, but it goes all the way, so it's not part of the bodice.
Yes.
You have to attach it to the bodice.
Which is why when you're buying it, you need to buy more, because we were going when we all meter, but actually that piece itself is going to take up an awful lot.
It's going to take a lot, especially with it being on the bias. So when we say bias, basically, if you imagine your fabric goes up and across. So when you talk about the bias, it's 45 degrees from that cross hatch, you see. So it needs to be a metre for us to get it all on.
Yeah, of course.
So even though this is a nice wide selvage, technically you only need about that much to do the pattern. However, because you're cutting it on the bias, you need the length.
But then maybe there might be enough room there to do a front and a, you know what I mean? There might be enough, you can jiggle it around to a front and a front. Anyway.
You won't know until you get your pattern pieces out, really, where you can bodge or not bodge. And so just remembering about our notches earlier, so we've got notches in the bodice and also notches in the collar. So you need to make sure they're matching up here. Yeah. The next notch is in the shoulder seam. So remember that triangle I mentioned at the very top? The triangle is basically where the two seams meet together at the shoulder seam. So that one's matching up, and again, the same on the other side. So what I'm now doing is stitching that all in. So again, you can see at the bottom, bottom, it's still not anywhere, you've got this flappy bit. So don't worry about
That's
that.
a technical term.
We've got these flappy bits here, so it looks like you might feel like you've done something wrong. You haven't, it's just that we're coming to that in a bit, all right? So I'm just going to carry on stitching that down. And then
I was going to say, you haven't
we haven't finished it down yet. So
you cut it off halfway through. I wonder why there were 2 lines of stitches just going so far.
No, it's just so you can see it. So remember we did that stay stitching, didn't we, in the neckline? And that was at 1.5, wasn't it? So
you're stitching, in effect, a straight panel, even though it's cut on the bias, into the round of the back of the neck.
Into the round of the back of the neck.
So that'll create it, because it's on the bias, it will create it to make that lovely curved shawl neckline at the background here, won't it?
Absolutely.
Which means there's the back curve, and then this is that straight panel that Jenniffer's putting on now.
So if for whatever reason you have done your stay stitching in a coloured thread, then I would suggest having that facing you, that then when you come round to it, you know that you're actually going to stitch over it or just shy of it. Whereas if you're doing it blind, you might see your stitching.
Yeah.
It is just an absolute dream to sew this wool is, though.
Yes.
It really is. Okay, so you can see that we've got that collar on now, which is looking fab.
No, I love it in the ecru, I have to say.
It looks lovely, doesn't it? Okay, so what we need to do now, if I just concentrate on this one piece at the moment, so this is our left-hand side of our coat.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is fold this collar back on itself, like
Just
so.
in half?
Just in half. So if I bring the pattern in, you'll be able to see that more clearly. She says.
Oh, is it on the top here? Oh, no.
Okay, it's down the bottom. So on the bottom there, so obviously this has been folded in half for it to be popped onto the collar. So it's in this position at the moment.
Yeah.
So you can see you've got a little V in the bottom.
Oh, yes, you can see it on there.
So
Like
you can see there's a little chevron, so you'll be able to see where the fold mark is just by the cut line. But if you wanted belt and braces, as they say, then you can pop a notch in there as well using the Taylor tap method.
Yeah.
But I can see in the fabric that there's a chevron there, so I'm going to use that as my point of reference. So I'll just move that out of the way for you. So what you need to do now is peel that back like so. And then if I bring this down, you're actually going to sew that together now.
Oh, so the flappy bit goes onto the foldy bit.
Goes back onto the foldy bit, exactly. Now you notice we've got a little bit of excess bits here.
Yeah.
Now that would be what you'd be sewing your lining on.
Right.
Okay, but we're not doing the lined option. So what I'm going to get you to do is fold that back in line with your collar, because what we're actually going to do is hand stitch that down.
Oh, okay.
So I've actually used the hand finish technique.
So this is the bit that's folded back. That's the bit you've just folded onto itself. Then you sandwiched it into the skirty bit there, and then this is the bit that you folded
down.
That's that little bit that's folded back.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So if I just pop a pin in there.
Now, there's quite a few layers there, aren't there?
There are quite a few layers in there, which is why I like using the welt seam finish, because that means you're getting to cut all of that back.
Yes, of course.
So you can do it without your walking foot, but I think because of these multiple layers, this is where I think it just makes it easier if you use your walking foot. So I'm just going to,
You have to press the pedal on the floor to make it
I know,
go.
we need to get some little sticky,
You've got some in there, I'll get them out.
nutty things.
Yes.
That's also another technical term.
Lots of technical terms today, not issues.
So what I find, if you haven't got your walking foot, like actually press the air out of the fabric and then it'll go through no problem.
It will go through with a normal needle as well, but you just need to take it carefully, that's all.
There you go. Just going to go back on that section. There you go.
Okay, age is 13 minutes, plenty of time.
So you can see how that's giving you that finish there. So again, this is curling under because we've not folded that back yet.
Yes.
So that's the finished edge. But you can see how that's enclosing what would be your collar into that. It's just below the waistline seam.
And what it's doing is there's nothing worse than when you've got a jacket that's a collar on that's not fixed, it just does that
Keeps
all the
flapping,
time.
exactly.
This isn't going to do that, is
No.
it? Because it's fixed in that seam. So it's going to just fall the way it's supposed to fall up
Fall all the way
the front
down.
of the jacket. Yeah.
So again, what you would do is want to trim back these white sections here because you're then going to do your flat fell seam.
Which is why we didn't do it earlier, because
yes.
we hadn't finished
So it's
there.
now that you would do your flat fell seam.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is...
And going downwards, the seams are going
Seams are going
downwards,
down. So you would be trimming,
you were right,
trimming your red and then trimming back. No, it's good.
I wasn't questioning.
No,
I was
it's
just
good to go
repeating
over it, because if we're going too fast, then I want to know.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm skipping steps here, but I want you to obviously flat fell these the same, and then try and keep your top stitching consistent as well. So I'm actually using sort of the edge of the stitch. Go on.
Is this side you're not putting a pocket in then?
This is the side we're not putting the pocket in. Do you want me to put? I haven't got a pocket cut.
No, but we can talk about putting the pocket
yes,
in.
We can.
So this is if you're not putting a pocket in. You're just going to sew straight down the side.
Exactly. So what you want to do, especially if you're going to do this lovely top stitching, you want to keep your top stitching consistent throughout the piece. But if you're going to do this contrast piece, you really do want to get those together, because you want that continuous line coming from the front to the back.
Especially if you've got two such opposing, not opposing, that's the wrong word, but contrast colours.
Contrasting colours.
Because if that seam is slightly out, everyone will see it.
Yes, definitely, definitely. So I'm going to go all the way down that seam. So obviously at home, guys, pin, 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 pin.
Yes.
Pin, 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 pin.
Yeah.
And also, when you're at home, I mean, I know we're standing up, so that you wouldn't normally do this at home, but just try and make sure that the weight of the wool, even though it's actually quite light to wear, it's not heavy, but there is quite a weight in there, especially when you're sewing. So make sure all the weight is on the table.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because the wool does want to pull and stretch. So the last thing you want to do is have pulled seams. So just get the weight of the fabric on the table.
My lovely next door neighbour Chris, what she used to do was she used to have her hostess trolley this side here, so if anything, like she does quilting more than dressmaking. But then John, her husband, her lovely husband, I don't know if he bought it or made it, he told me he made it. No, I'm John, but he's John as well. He's got this bit of the table that pulls out like that now, so when she's sitting there, she can put the weight of her quilts and everything.
Genius idea, genius idea. So that seam's been done. So again, cut back, fold down and create a welt seam. So it's just keeping all of the seams nice and reduces the bulk throughout the garment.
Okay.
So you can repeat that again on the other side, so I'll do that very quickly for you. But did you want to talk about pockets?
I'm just going to talk very quickly. The wine one, there's an awful lot, and a lot of you got it in your basket. Now, obviously, you only need 2 meters to make the coat. If you've all put 2 meters in your basket, then it's going to be this far from selling out.
You'll do. Okay.
And we also got the ecru. In fact, the 2 colours you're using here are the most popular 2 colours, the ecru and the wine.
I'll pop it on in a second so people can see it against the skin. But so you can see there that we've got a really nice continuous line now from the back coming in through to the front.
Perfect.
Okay, so obviously on this side you would have that top stitching line as well, but obviously we've skipped that step. But that's what it would look like on the finished piece at home if you're doing that welt finish. So pocket-wise, I've only done 1 pocket just so you can see the 2 options. But obviously at home you might want to put both on so the balance is correct.
Would be odd because you start walking in circles, wouldn't it?
So this is the pocket. So you have a separate piece for that, obviously.
If you want pockets, the pattern pieces and everything are in.
The pattern piece is in there. It's just that there's extra little notches that you would have needed to transfer over. But essentially, what you would do is sew 1 pocket on there, 1 pocket on the back, then lie it flat together. And then, as John's showing there, you would literally come down the seam from the armhole, come all the way down, sew around the pocket, and then carry on down.
Yes.
That's what you would do. So
I'm putting my thumb there because there's tacking stitches in it.
Oh, is there? So all you're doing is just basically, it's an extension of what the seam we've just done on the other side. It's just that you're going to go round an extra bit. But it's a really simple pocket. And then if you wanted to, you could hand tack that down if you didn't want it to be baggy.
Yes, exactly. I love the fact that you've done it in the inside of the pocket in the green, though, and I just think that's lovely. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I'll do that in a second.
What's that?
Oh, it's gone back. It's all right. It's gone back now. Every time you move round like that, your necklace goes.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so repeat on the other side. So I'm going to skip that bit so we can concentrate on the next bit. So if I just bring that on, essentially, jacket is done.
Yep. I'll just lift that bit up round. There you go. Fabulous.
It's great, isn't it? So it just come on just underneath. So it's almost like a pilot line finish.
I like that because it's very flattering, isn't
It's
it? When
super
it's
flattering.
not Empire, is it? Because it's going. What did you just call it?
Pilot line.
Oh, I've not heard that one.
I thought it was pilot line underneath. Anyway, so that's the positioning of
Yeah,
it.
perfect.
So the one thing I just wanted to show you very quickly, if I just come back to this section here.
Got 8 minutes, so don't need to rush. Oh, we've got flowers to talk about yet as well.
So
Flowers.
this part that I'm just folding back now would have been the seam allowance for your lining on the jacket. So I'm just going to quickly show you how I've hand finished that off with a needle and thread, which I've got here. So I'm not going to
you've hand finished it off?
I've hand finished that off.
Oh. But you could. Oh, no, you couldn't. I was going to say you could top stitch if you wanted, but then you can't carry top stitching on, can you? So it'll just come to a stop.
I mean, you
there.
could. It just depends on what kind of look that you're going
Yeah,
for. But
yeah.
because of this lovely line here, I didn't want to then...
No, I agree with you totally.
So
yeah, yeah.
I hand finished that.
Yeah.
So how I did that is you can actually stitch through the wool without... So it's a hand overcast finish, basically, where you're almost going in a zigzag position. So you're stitching zigzag, but the finish is straight.
Yeah.
So you can see how it's tacking that down.
Are you... Oh, so what stitch are you doing, sorry? Are you doing a herringbone stitch?
No, it's overcast.
OK, because you could do a little herringbone stitch along there as well, couldn't you?
You could do. That would also be a nice finish. But
Yeah.
from a quick point of view, that one would be quicker. But you can see that the stitches aren't coming through on the other side.
Yes,
You
yeah.
can't see them at all, and it's not puckering. So you are literally going through like the tufts, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
But once you've stitched it down a few times...
It's not going to go anywhere either, is
That's
it?
not going to go anywhere, and it's not... what will eventually happen, I suppose, is that it will start felting itself.
Yeah, exactly. You won't see the stitches at all.
You won't see the stitching at all. No. So that's the finish that I've done on the inside of the jacket.
And did you hem it the same way as the
No,
hem?
I left this hem normal. It was only that section there that I've hand finished.
Oh, you've left it raw?
I've left it raw.
Oh, OK.
Obviously, you can at home, but it was only because of that extension, and also if I just cut it, it would look really messy in this section here. So I knew I wanted to do something with that finish. Also, because it's folded back on itself, it just gives that support through the front, whereas if you did just cut it and leave it raw, you wouldn't have that structure in the front, whereas on the bottom, you can get away with it. So my tip would be, rather than top stitching it down, if you're not going to line the jacket, I would definitely hand finish that section there. All right.
Armholes?
Armholes. So again, because we've not lined our jacket, our armholes are raw at the moment. And what will also happen is, because of the armholes, here you've got an extra 1.5 centimetres on there that should be coming back in on itself. Yes. So when you first try it on, you might think, oh, that's really tight.
Well, when I put it on you, it looked a little bit tight.
Well, number one, this is size 12. I'm definitely not a size 12, but I'm really not. It's got a 1.5 seam allowance on there, because that would have eventually been turned back in on itself, because the sleeve would have gone in there. So option one would be you could cut off.
Or the lining, or the lining would have gone in there, wouldn't it?
The lining would have pulled it back. Yeah. So option one would be just to cut it off and have a raw edge. However, I still think that's going to cause problems later, because your stitching might come out. You need to do something with your stitching.
Also, if you think about how we throw coats on, you know,
there's a lot of wear and tear,
don't you, at the armhole?
Lots and lots of wear and tear in there. So what I did is a little cheat method. So you remember we talked about that extra material you need to cut on the bias?
Yeah.
So what I did is cut some extra bits. So I just made it a pretty decent size.
Oh, so you've not made a facing, you've made a binding.
I've made a binding.
Oh, OK.
So all this is here is binding. So again, I've done the hand finish on the insta bit, but I've just gone around. So it takes back the 1.5 seam allowance, so now your arms should fit you.
Yes, exactly.
But it's also giving you that nice little peepo of colour, but it's giving more structure around the armhole, so it's not going to come undone.
Little peepo of colour.
A little peepo of colour. So all I did literally was...
Oh, you're doing it in the same colour?
I did it in the same colour, but I'm not going to sew it, because it's easy. So make sure you leave yourself enough here for a seam allowance. Pin all the way around.
So it's just like putting your bias binding around
exactly
your
the
armholes,
same. And then when you get here again, leave extra, so then you can sew them together to make sure it absolutely fits. So you don't need to measure it with a tape measure, just go around with your fabric.
No, make sure it's definitely longer than your armhole.
Definitely longer than your armhole. And again, what you might want to do is consider as well, so you're not overstretching this area, go in with the same with the neckline with a stay stitch.
I think I'd do that anyway while you're malleable, you know, it's good while you're chucking it around.
Another little thing that I just want to mention option. If you're finding that your collar's not really sitting right, you will want to probably clip into that back neckline as well. So you don't have to do it through the 2 collar pieces, which you can see I've sewn together separately.
Yeah.
So I know that that part is the bodice. If you feel like it's on the neck too much, just clip into it.
And it's not going to fray anywhere because the wool doesn't
but
fray.
it will just release the fabric a little bit more in around the neckline, so it just gives a better shape along the back neck.
All right.
So that's that. So the last thing I wanted to show you, if you did want to do the little extras, which aren't in the pattern.
Right.
But this wool is just so lovely to make the flowers with, and I think it just adds really nice detail in the garment. So kanzashi, so we're sticking with our sort of Japanese influences there. So hopefully we'll get through a couple of flowers for you. But all it is with the scraps of material, and you don't need much at all. So I've got some bits here left over, and I've got some little flowers.
The book. Right. Well, I've never seen these, so... Oh, yes, I have. But will they work with that fabric? I'm not sure if they'll work with that fabric. Let's have a look. Oh, thank you, Chris. Thank you. Right, OK. We've got this Japanese fabric. Now, I'll be honest with you. I've only got 4 of these. If you want this, I've only got 4 of them, £9.99. Beautiful. If you want to make some gorgeous flowers. Right. Now, will this work with that fabric?
It's a bit too thick.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be completely honest
we'll
with
do
you.
it Jenniffer's method. But if you've got these at home, they're Kanzaki, is that what we call them?
Kanzashi.
Kanzashi flower makers. Got them on our website, £7.99. It's the large one. But let's see how Jenniffer made hers.
Well, the thing is, I'm using the leftover wool, but there's nothing stopping you using some floral fabrics.
No, that's what I'm saying. If you've got other fabrics, you might want to use like a patterned silky or lawn or something, and fray the edges and make it look like one of those.
Exactly. So all I did was just cut some little bits. So I've just done it in the sort of wine oak leaf styling.
Yes.
And I've just gone and just had a little play around with some free motion just to do some little veins.
Okay, you could do that by hand. You could hand stitch.
You could do that by hand if you like. So these are.
Is that just one? Sorry, Jennifer. Is that just one thickness?
Yeah, that's one layer. Yeah. One layer. So I've got a couple of pieces there. Yeah. So I'm going to show you this one first.
Right.
It's a cute little one, isn't it? And then hopefully, if we've got time, I'll show you that one.
Yeah, you've got 3.5 minutes left with you, Jenniffer.
All right then. So you can see this is just a little rough piece, but what I want is one side to be smaller than the other.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to just trim this down a little bit more. And then what I will do is actually curve that one side.
Right.
Okay.
So you need a piece that sort of shape.
Yeah. I mean, how big you want your flower is entirely up to you, but you do want a decent length of flower. I'm just going to get some thread.
Oh. And she's going to try and thread the needle live on air.
And I am.
So the leaves, you just cut out your favourite leaf shape and then you stitch the veins in using your sewing machine or by hand.
Or by hand, yeah.
And then this little flower that we're going to be doing first. What is it? Is it a buttercup?
I was thinking like a sort of budded rose.
Oh, get you.
Who knows? Okay, so I've just got a double threaded needle with a knot in the end of it. And all we're going to be doing is taking the smallest section first, and it's just a running stitch.
But not up the... Oh, you're doing a Sashiko stitch now. Not on the curved one, on the straight edge.
On the straight edge.
Yeah.
I'm working towards that curved edge. Without getting yourself entangled. Okay, so once you get towards the end there.
Yeah.
So you wanted to sort of start concertinaing that up. So the little one comes on top.
Oh, yes.
And you're just twisting it around like so.
Oh.
That's it.
And that's it?
That's it. So all I'm going to do is just take the small part first. So before I get the tension on the flower, I'm just going to go through the small part first.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to go through the other side. So it's now that I get the tension on. So I've got that there.
Yeah. Got about 30 seconds.
That's fine. I'm going to put the needle through the fabric. Now I'm pulling the tension, keeping the tension. Wrap once, wrap twice, and then pinch.
Right, and push the needle through.
Push the needle through.
You can tell she's done this before, can't you?
So you can
Oh, lovely.
take that
And then
in.
this one here is like almost like a Suffolk puff.
Yeah, so this is just, it's the same size at the top and the bottom. Where this was kind of variegated, that one isn't.
Yeah.
And I've just layered 2 on top of each other.
Right.
Same process of stitching it into a circle, but then what I've then done is stitched down the side, like so.
Right, okay.
So that's quite a nice 3-dimensional one, so that will really, really puff. But I just want to show you a quick technique on that, if that's okay.
Very, very quick. 'Cause
Yeah.
we've had, when are you in next while you're doing this?
I'm on holiday for a week,
Oh, yeah.
and then I'm back on the Tuesday. So
Okay, perfect. Because you'll be on the different new hours. I
know, yeah, it's exciting.
Right, what do you just show us very quickly then?
So if you're wondering how I'm getting this kind of rippled effect on the leaf when I'm stitching it in,
So what you would do is stitch into the flower and the jacket first at the very bottom.
Yeah.
But then what I then did is just do a quick running stitch down the sort of spine of the flower and then gather it and then tack it in.
Oh, yes.
Gather, gather, gather.
Pull it in.
Pull it and then just tack it in. That just gives you a bit of even more texture on your leaf.
Yeah, rather than it being flat.
like flat.
Joy to see you as ever. Sorry to rush you a bit
all
at the
right,
end
no
there. Thank you, Jennifer. Pattern, brand new today. It's going size 6 to 22. $8.99. So you can do the jacket, you can do it lined, you can do the gilet, you can do whatever you want. There are 4 different variations there. I think it'd be nice in the boiled wool as the jacket and then PU as the sleeves. I think that would look quite nice. $8.99. Boiled wool, special offer, special offer. Now, I still don't know when, so if you want it, come and get it. Soft grey, soft dove grey. I think they've just called it light grey. Yeah, they got light grey. Now, it's boiled wool, 100% wool, 145 centimetres wide. Was $11.99, now $9.99 for half a metre. No idea myself how long it's going to last for. Got the gorgeous olive green. Oh, I love this one. I have to say, I know we're not allowed favourites, but I think the olive green might be my favourite. Gorgeous olive green there. Again, the boiled wool was $11.99 for half a metre, now $9.99. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Okay. Then I've got the taupe, which is like a deep mushroom. They're all very popular. Well, I think a lot of you are taking advantage of the offer, aren't you? That was $11.99, now $9.99. Okay, now remember, I'm not going to keep telling you this, but if it's not yours until you've checked out. Not yours until you've checked out. Right, okay. Got the ecru. Oh, got to be quick because I've got the menu to do as well yet. And then I've got the wine, last one for the wine, which is the most popular. One that Jenniffer used in both of her projects, didn't she, though? Okay, graphics in. The menu, remember, it was $11.99, now $9.99. Now, it's Natasha tomorrow. I'm not in for 2 days now. So coming up today tomorrow with Natasha, not today. Oh, she's got Jenny Smith in, the lovely Hepworth apron at 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock, the Sunny Days fabric. 10 o'clock, Jenny's new dress, which is the dress I asked for. Never mind. 11 a.m, dressmaking toolkit. Lots and lots and lots going on with Natasha. Remember, when you see me next, Friday, we'll be on the new hours, and this is from Friday. I'll be live from 9 till 2. I'm going to have to bring in lots of snacks because I'm starving now. Goodness, I'll have another hour to do, won't I? Anyway, thanks ever so much for your company. Make sure you check out your baskets. That's very, very, very important. Enjoy the next 2 days with Natasha. I will see you. I'm in Friday, Saturday and Sunday. I think that's when I'm in. Anyway, I'll see you Friday. Take care. Bye.
Join us on Thursday, the 31st of May, when designer, teacher and author Carolyn Forster is here to launch her brand new book. The Joy of Jelly Rolls is Carolyn's complete guide to quilting and sewing with jelly rolls, a fabric pre-cut we know you love as much as we do. Carolyn will be in the studio to share projects from the book along with tips and techniques honed from teaching the world over. From clever machine piecing hexagons and intricate folded log cabin to a sleepy tabby cat pillow, Carolyn shows that the possibilities with jelly rolls are endless. In fact, there are 44 designs in the book, including 24 quilts, all in Carolyn's trademark fresh, feminine style. So tune in to help Carolyn celebrate her latest joyous jelly roll book, Thursday the 31st of May at 10 a.m, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 687.